Sorry, guys, just waiting for something to load up. Just give me a second. Things will start in a minute.
O.O.C. Transmission begin. Welcome everybody to the O.O.C. We got Anzo, Roberto, Geishka, and Mio. Our goal is to ignite discussion and inspire. Come through on Wednesday nights and feel the fire. Much respect and love to the chat for keeping the comment section nice and packed. Love for all, but we put you through the test, cause in the O.O.C. we get it off our chest. Yo, transmission ended.
Oh, god damn, with the banner and shit.
2 for 2.
You know what I mean? Damn. Gotta stop.
It's okay. This
there
message is brought to you by Bigger Ford Entertainment.
There we go.
That's how we do.
What is up? Welcome back. Another episode of the O.O.C. How you guys doing today?
Feeling good, Joe. Feeling good. Feeling irie, as they say.
Irie. You're feeling all blessed, brother. Yeah, you're feeling irie.
Excellent. So like we always do, we're going to go through the panel so you can talk about your channels. I think we'll just skip Roberto this time. No, I'm just kidding. Roberto, tell the people.
No. By all means, please. I'm not offended. I'm actually flattered. I'm hoping something new would start. But, I think the people need to hear from the righteous people. That's y'all who have your things going on. You don't want to hear my blase.
Wow.
JJ?
I've been called many things. Righteous ain't one of them.
Well, sorry, Jay.
First time
was
for
new
everything.
to me. I was like, wow, really? Thank you.
Speak it how it is, sir.
Thank you.
Talk to the people, sir.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JJ. Those of you know me know where you can find me. Sundays over on Chris Knight's channel. And we need to find something new to do because we ain't gonna be on Hanzo's no more. Later on that night on Hanstar's channel, Monday night on my own, I do a weekly live stream. But I'm doing one tomorrow night instead. I didn't do one Monday. You find me back here with Hanzo and a few other friends, for the Chaos List, and then sometimes over on Chris Knight's channel again on Thursdays. Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem.
What was that? You want to stay on Andre's show? What was that?
Oh, the WandaVision roundtable's over.
Oh, that's done?
Yeah.
Yep. Show is finished.
But I mean, next week it's Falcon and Winter Soldier on Danny's channel. So So we
Yep,
get
yep.
that going
Yeah,
too.
I don't believe I'm gonna be involved with that because Danny hasn't reached out to me yet.
I don't
If
think
he
I don't
hasn't
think he
yet.
reached out to anybody yet.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Okay.
don't worry about that. He's still
Oh,
working
okay.
on it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Gaishka, you're up, my friend.
Yeah, man. You can find me on Chaos Centrals, all these shows with these fine gentlemen here, like Anzo, Chris Knight, Danny. You can find me Mondays, 9 p.m. for Chaotic Conversation when it's on Mondays. If not, it goes on Fridays due to Danny's work schedule, which totally understand. Tuesdays, 9 p.m. on the Chaos List. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. for the Rule of Three. Usually here when Chris is back on track with his shows. And right here, 10 p.m. with my Uptown boys on the O.O.C, man. That's where you can find me.
Representing. What up, fam? On the column.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to see y'all. You keep us going. You keep us coming back.
That's
Love
correct.
to see more. Just hit that like button.
And see, hey, look, Roberto, you're getting there. Look at you. Look at you.
Gotta do something different, right?
Smash
all
that
good.
like.
All the people in the chat, what's up, Caleb, Mama Bear, Chassis? I hope I say that right. I don't know, man. Chases. There you go.
We
See,
do
you
have
guys go correct me.
tendency to rip up some people's names, right, Khalid?
You know, I actually got called out the other day. It's like, yeah, you know, it's Caleb, right? Someone's like, yeah, he keeps saying in the chat, you're getting it wrong. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's all good. Jason Lee is in the house.
So wait, hold
Aficionados in the house.
Sorry for it. What is his name?
Caleb.
What were you calling him?
Caleb.
Caleb, huh?
Caleb,
because
yeah.
as I said, I have a friend whose name is Taleb, right? It's Taleb. So this is why I pronounced it Caleb. No disrespect, but everybody has their own way of pronunciation. And I will respect it when he corrects me the right way, and I'll try and say it that way all the time. But coming from chat, you just can't correct me, son. You have to come on the show and do it the right way.
You know what I mean? And like we always do, you know, guys are welcome to come in. You got to get shit off your chest. That's what we're here for. So it is what it is, you know. Roberto, we'll start off with you, my friend.
Oh, with
me? I know you said, yeah. You said you have some shit to get off your chest, right?
I don't know. I was hoping we would start with what Geiskar wanted to get off his chest because that shit is taking some fucking front notice on that
Facebook.
Old man book.
Old man book, exactly.
Right?
Like that.
Old
Facebook's
man
for
book's
old
on
people,
fire.
Dad.
It's like it's popping up every third article.
Yeah.
So
you know what? I want to take a moment and say my heart goes out to Pepe Le Pew.
Rest in peace, Pepe.
It really does. That, you know,
I sent my respects.
I never thought he would go out this way, not in a million years. When I was a kid, I always looked forward to that cartoon, wondering how the pussycat would get its white stripes because it was always different. And then see him fail, you know, trying to, you know, he fell in love with these beautiful,
he was so
striped
creative.
women.
He was so creative. Only to get
baby.
Yeah, exactly. You know, for some of us, that's how we started learning French.
Some of us want to learn French. Exactly.
You know, so it's like, ma chérie, you know, and it was, you know, and this cancel culture is out of fucking control. Everything is being canceled. Now they're going after Miss Piggy. It's just insane. It's basically
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
What did he do? Run too fast?
I don't know. I guess he crossed the border. I don't know.
He didn't show his papers.
I have no idea. But you know what? It's what I'm witnessing is they're erasing our childhood. They're trying to erase what we were brought up on, and you know what? We go back to the basis. It's what I said before. It's come to a point where parents are not doing their parenting job and watching shit with their kids, and they're just throwing them in front of TVs, and they expect the studios to do the parenting now, and it's just freaking ridiculous. You know, Dumbo no longer on the child menu for Disney Plus, and Pinocchio as well. I think now, and a whole bunch of other ones that are leaving the kids menu. Why? It's ridiculous. I find it stupid. I find that we're raising or making it okay to quickly put a hashtag. Absolutely, JJ, you're absolutely right. That's the biggest mistake ever.
Yep.
That's a tool, but it's a curse in itself as well. Because as I said in past streams, parents are buying their kids tablets and shit at a young age, and they're being babysat by technology.
Their phone.
Yeah, technology. And it's sad. Like my buddy at work was telling me, oh, my kid already knows how to unlock my friggin' iPad and go into applications and stuff. And his daughter's like, what, 3 or 4? You know,
my kids sat in the back of my truck with our unconventional DVD player and watched all the fucking Looney Tunes. I sat back there some nights and watched it with them, and we laughed. You know,
Absolutely.
like, listen, man, if you don't want to allow your kids to expand their consciousness and make the right and wrong decisions and learn, like falling down and getting up and never giving up kind of thing, everything cannot be handed to you. Fuck.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's who the fuck are these people? Who are these fucking people,
bro?
Is it Democrats? Who is it?
Yo, I don't know where it's coming from. It's just like
idea.
one day it's just like boom, cancel Pepe Le Pew. And I was saying, I grew up on Pepe Le Pew. I loved Pepe Le Pew, and I never thought about fucking raping women after watching his cartoon. You know what I mean?
Do you know there was
what the hell was wrong with the people?
There was a woman that said on an article, she's like, "Oh, I'm glad that this happened because people were thinking that it was a joke, and I guess a woman pushing away a man or something, is funny, but it's not funny." And I went wall off on her. I went like, "Excuse me, what the fuck are you talking about?"
I think
I'm like,
it goes
to
a lineup of people going off on her.
I'm like, it's about education. It's about teaching. It's not about censoring everything out there. What fucking world are we going to live in 5-10 years from now? Exactly.
Demolition Man?
Yes.
That's the world we're heading for.
It's ridiculous, man. And no way, honestly, and no way am I going to sit back and watch this shit happen. Where I can voice my opinion, I'm going to voice my opinion.
Facts.
It's just ridiculous. I'm like freaking sensitive, entitled pussies that we're freaking bringing up to, and you know what, they're not going to have any type of survival skills because everything's going to hurt them. And who's going to be making the money? The fucking pharmaceutical companies and the freaking psychologists. That's
if I stream some fucking Looney Tunes somewhere, what's going to happen? My door's going to get kicked down. I'm going to get arrested by the sensitive police. What the fuck is this shit? Like, you're going to tell me what I can watch and can't watch and what I'm supposed to take from it?
It's just gotten to the point. I don't know, Chad, how you feel, but I think it's the most ridiculous thing ever, because it's just ridiculous. Like
one guy, little magic wand.
One guy wrote, like, because now they censored all the shooting, like Elmer Fudd shooting Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny. They took all that off, right? They censored it. So this guy posted this cool meme, right? It's we can't have this anymore, but we can have like Grand Theft Auto, right? Where you're killing and stuff. And one person wrote, "Oh, this is great. My son can no longer watch Pepe Le Pew running around, but hey, he can go back into playing Grand Theft Auto where he just blew up a hooker with a bazooka to not pay for his services." That's the thing. They have age restriction on all these games, but kids are still playing this at a young age, right? Like Call of Duty, it's supposed to be 18 and over. I'm telling you, those kids I hear in my freaking chat in the lobby, they're not 18, man.
Absolutely not.
And it goes back to the parents, educating, right? It's
absolutely.
I understand we live in a society where right now you have to have a dual income in order to survive. That life is not easy, that you have to have a good team in order to raise kids today. Right. And that's I think that's one of the issues too. The divorce rates are really high. Stress is really high. The situation we live is really high. But in no way by censoring stuff that it's our responsibility as parents, because we have to remember one thing. Those kids that we have did not ask to be here. We brought them here. And it's our duty from the beginning so they can fly on their own, to make sure they're educated to the best of our abilities and have the tools to succeed in this society that we're bringing them into right now. But
it's
but it's
just
it's
crazy.
sad.
Yeah, it is crazy because, like I said, look how we grew up on this shit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We all grew up on this shit. We're fine.
Yeah.
So what are you telling me now? All of a sudden,
that's
it's like,
that's a matter of opinion.
But my
Well, yeah.
parents
You're
never
right.
sat down with me to watch Looney Tunes and say, okay, now you know when he's catching him, he doesn't want to kill him, right? You know, because the rebel flag is there, it doesn't mean that he's going to hang from a tree in the next scene, right? Like,
Mhm.
this shit didn't have to be explained to me. I could put two and two together and, leave there and say either it was funny or it wasn't.
Mhm.
But you deciding what is good for me and what isn't good for me are my kids. Like, do you guys remember Schoolhouse Rock?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
I remember one episode where, like I said, I think I said it on one of our shows
Sure,
before. When they
Terrence.
said if the government gets involved in the household, it's all over.
Mhm.
They will
Absolutely.
start dictating what we say, what we watch, what we do, and how we live. That's what's
Well,
fucking happening right fucking now.
One of the best things that I'm glad I did is get rid of TV in my house.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
get a
have-
taste
I
of that
don't- I
this
don't-
weekend. No
I don't.
TVs.
I have my Netflix. I have my shows. When I want to go check something on the news, I'll go on the internet. I'll check the news. But no, I'm like, I don't want to hear. Everything is bad, 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 bad. I'm tired of that shit. And not only
Yeah, I
that,
hear
going
you.
back to the censoring things. Fuck, I used to watch Benny Hill with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go around,
They put it on at 11.
grabbing women's asses and stuff like that.
But hold on.
And
You make a very good point there, guys. Scar. We used
Mhm.
to stay up till 11:30 at night to watch that shit because it wasn't right for any other young kids to be watching that. They shouldn't
Right.
be up. Some of us were
Mhm.
cool and grew up in the hood, right?
Mhm.
The fact that we watched that and we didn't go and slap no old men in the back of the head.
Mhm.
We didn't run down no women.
Mhm.
We didn't become fucking super perverts. I mean, if you even look at it, they could even possibly ban Carol Burnett because,
Wow.
she showed maybe this much of her chest in her shows, giving you the wrong impression. I mean, if you really analyze everything, you could fucking scrutinize everything.
Yes,
But then,
absolutely.
what kind of a person are you?
Mhm.
Go in
Fucking
your
miserable
bubble,
one.
go in your bubble and roll. Roll. Just keep rolling.
I'm sorry, the people that do that are after every single one of these characters and make it a freaking vendetta to do that. Honestly, oh man, I wish there was an anti-hero that just took care of them. I'm seriously fucking shit. Because it's sad, man. It's like everything is part of history. Everything goes with education.
Mhm.
Cartoons were made at times that reflect the era and the
times we
times
live
that were
in.
made.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And it's an educational purpose, man. I remember when I took animation and at Dawson. I had to watch the original Looney Tunes, the original cut. And man, the freaking ones about the Japanese because of the World War.
Yeah.
Holy shit, those were freaking harsh, man.
Mhm.
It's time to get some Japs now.
Yo,
And fucking
what-
Sammy Sam,
What's gonna-
man, but
what's-
it's part of the times.
What's gonna happen when they start to get to movies like Mississippi Burning and all those type of things? Oh, these movies are too racist. We got to cancel these movies too. Like, it's ridiculous now. It's like
It is.
everything that they think is offensive, it has to be canceled. But yet they're not looking at it as you can learn from these things.
Absolutely,
You know what I mean?
You're 100% right.
Go ahead, Terrence.
What did I miss?
Oh, we're talking about Pepe Le Pew being canceled
This
and
cancel culture.
shit. Yeah.
Oh, I have a lot to
they're
say about that.
They're going after Miss Piggy, man. What do you think about that, Terrence? Miss Piggy now, man.
Yeah, I've been speaking on the silliness of humans for many years, and cancel culture is just another area where you have a small number of humans that happen to be very loud, is what it is, and they sit in a corner with their box of tissues and they look for things to complain about because they have nothing else better to do with their lives, and they're steady trying to tell myself and others what we should be doing and feeling, because they are some weirdos in a corner that are like, did you see that? Did you see that? That's a sexy woman right there. We got to
Oh
cancel the
yeah.
show. She can't be sexy. That's wrong. She has to cover up. Or did you see the way that guy talked to the female? We have to cancel him because that's not how men are supposed to be. And I'm like, first of all, these are characters for a reason. When you see these characters, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to copy them. A lot of the times they're there to teach humans various lessons, more often than not in ways that you should not be. But it's up to the person to decide what they want to believe and follow. It's there for the sole
100%.
purpose of entertainment, and that's it. And
Absolutely.
then if
And
you
Mhm.
wait, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish off what you're saying.
No, it's like if you're not entertained, right, then you can go elsewhere. You don't have to watch it. Like, why
Okay.
go out of your way to take something away from someone else or another group of people that enjoy it? To me, that's not fair, and it's a really shitty way of thinking. I say, like, in this day and age, we have a lot of marshmallows, weak-minded humans walking around that, it's like they wake up, look in the mirror, and go, I wonder what I'm going to be upset about today. And then that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's the whole point. They brought out the rating systems, right? It was particularly for that.
Absolutely.
Right?
And one
That's
thing
what
I
it's for.
wanted to say was Lola the bunny. They're changing her
Yes.
look because she
You
was
saw
too
that?
sexy.
What the
Can
fuck?
you believe
Right.
that?
What are they gonna do with Jessica Rabbit? Are they gonna remake
Yeah,
it now?
I heard about that.
I'm like, what the fuck
This
is going
all
on?
started when they fucking were all worked up about Lucy moving the football from what's his name when he tries to kick it. That's bullying. I'm like, are you fucking? Hold on. Again, if you want to microscope things, I could find, their offense to this stuff is bullying.
Mm-hmm.
There's some
Yep.
cartoonists out there trying to earn a living. You're discriminating against them because, their comic or comedic
Thank you.
scriptures are getting scrutinized because you have a problem. Like Terrence said, there's called variety. Find what accommodates you and fucking chill in that realm while you're shitting on other people's stuff. We're totally happy with Looney Tunes. Like TV's not the same anymore.
Absolutely not.
If you can't have Looney Tunes on a Saturday, you can't have football on Sunday. It's like one and the same. You wake up to that music and now you don't hear it. Maybe that's why everybody's so uptight and angry and hostile and can't explain why. Because you're taking all the fucking good things away from us. And you're not justifying why you're doing it. And you just do it. And we want to know who you are so we can fuck you up.
Also,
Jesus,
some
man.
sensibility issues.
That's why I wanted you to start this one, guys. Start because I wanted some of this. I said, you know what? I think this topic could probably take us to 2 hours because this is some heated shit. I put a fucking rest in peace to Pepe Le Pew. I'm a grown ass man. I shouldn't be doing that shit, but I did it just to make a point.
Man, I was like,
to make a point.
Fuck is this
My
shit?
daughter sees that shit. She ain't gonna call me dad anymore.
You need help, Daddy. You should speak to someone.
It's fucked up. It's fucked
Yeah,
up. And I gotta be at work
arguing
about cartoons.
Pepe Le Pew, like in the article, they were, saying like they had to. The one article that I saw, they were saying, well, he's a rapist, and you got to get rid of him because, all these women are upset. And I'm like, all of what women? Where are they? Like whenever they say that there's all these humans that are upset, they're really talking about, Betty Sue and Bobby Totem that like maybe did a blog and then they sent it to someone and then they're making it seem like this is what everyone wants. And I'm like, nobody even thought about Pepe Le Pew until fucking Space Jam 2 article came out. Nobody was really thinking about it.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
He's a skunk. He's a fucking skunk chasing a cat.
Mama Bear said we need Saturday morning cartoons back. Absolutely. We do, man.
Yes.
Man, those were the days, man. Those were the days, and
Yeah.
now
Back-
you like
back-
your kids don't wake up. You creak open their door. You think it's like 11 o'clock in the afternoon. They think they're still sleeping. Nah,
Mhm.
man, they're there with their
Yep.
phone. What are you doing?
Mhm.
Reading. What are you reading on your phone? You have a iPad or you have a book. Like
Multiple
fucking up your
devices.
vision. Yeah,
They
I
have
know,
their
I know.
MacBook while their iPhone
And the laptop on.
their tablets on the side, you know.
And if they got a gaming system, they're there playing games.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. My daughter's
Kinda-
learning.
I mean, so sometimes multiple screens is helpful. You know, that's how I can talk to Guy Scar and Anzo at the same time if I have multiple screens. You know, like
Mhm.
you multitask. You know, you get
Mhm.
a lot of stuff done. But no, I get what you're saying though about how it can, you know, it can be damaging.
My thing is when it's the first thing
In the
that
morning.
you do in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And that's
I
a
think,
habit. That's a habit I tried hard to break, and
Your
I do
kid's
it a
gonna go,
lot less
Dad,
because
then you gotta drop your coffee, and you be like, "Kid, go get your
Nah,
fucking
it's two
phone."
different. It's two different. No, it's two different things, dude. Two different things.
Everybody has their niche in the morning, right?
Like we used to have our phones at the table at one point, and that's not done. We don't do that anymore. Now our phones are far apart. We try to eat dinner together almost every day because that's when everything happens. That's for me. That's one of the main issues that there is today. Everybody in their houses are all each in their rooms
Mm-hmm.
doing their own thing, you know, and
Mhm.
that commune area is critical. I remember, you know what? Hold on, also.
Go ahead.
The reason that I was able to keep my language, my mother tongue, was because of that dinner table.
Mhm.
And that strict rule that was the only language we were allowed to speak at the dinner table, right? And that's where everything is talked about, face to face, your days or whatever, discussions, disagreements, and stuff like that. It's critical to have those moments. I'm not saying only the dinner table, but you know, an area where you just detach from all the freaking electronic shit and have conversations, because and as a family, that's what
This is one of the things I was going to say. The worst part about it is my son will be in the other room and text me. You know what I mean? Like, you're in the other room. Why the fuck are you texting me?
I lose my shit if that happens.
I don't know because I'm West
Antos,
Indian.
it depends, man. Like it depends on the humans, because like I can be in a house with my friends and I'll like sometimes I'll try to talk to them and they're like, T, you could have just texted me. I'm like, but you're like right there.
Right next
I
to me.
don't I don't like to text, but I'll do it because usually when I, you know, attempt to go to the house or try to call the human, they're always busy and shit. So I have no choice but to text most of the time. You know, not because I want to.
Absolutely. What were you gonna say, Roberto?
You know, I just went blank, man. It's a sign of age and chronic. Good old Kootenai chronic, yo.
It's all good.
When it comes back to me, I'll share it with you because it was fire. I had to say it. But
Yeah,
I got to be respectful and listen. And
it was something about Geisker was talking about eating at the table, and I used to do that when I was a kid. We used to eat at the table. You know what I mean?
Thank
critical,
you,
man.
You helped me, brother. That's what we're here for, right?
But,
my apologies, Roberto. I didn't want you.
No, it's all good, T. It's all good, T. I never told you how I can't really hold on to shit. That's why I like to talk and say it, and then I listen. Because if I hold it too long, it's a Calgon moment. Gone. So in regards to eating at the table, I don't know if it's a West Indian thing or I never really sat down at the dinner table because, you know, when we grew up uptown, our kitchen was so small, we couldn't all sit in the kitchen and eat. So basically you got what was yours and you went wherever was available. And for me, I was so sports oriented. I always ran to the TV and watch sports and eat or watch whatever and eat. And it's funny because when I met my wife, you know, European background, she's Armenian and whatnot. It's huge for them to eat all together and drink and talk. And I grew up like with the, you know, the concept of you shouldn't really eat with food in your mouth. And since I'm always eating when I'm at the table, why the fuck would I be talking? So what's there to talk about? You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
and this is the whole point of my that what's normal show, because you see, you grow up thinking what you're doing is normal till you hear somebody else doing something, and then you say, hey, is my shit abnormal or is his shit abnormal, or are we both normal in different realms? Whatever is normal to you and works for you. But for you to say that not eating at the table is the cause, or eating at the table is the cause.
Well, it's not that.
No,
What
I'm
I
not
meant to
saying on
say,
your point, guys. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people like to use weed for an excuse for people's fallouts, you know? And I just say, listen, they were already fucked. The weed just brought it more to the forefront. So you can't blame the weed. They were fucked already. Whatever if they were afraid of heights, now they're more afraid of heights because they're high? No. Because they're high, they realize they're afraid of heights and they're acting all fucking stupid. That's all it is. So you can't really blame the environment so much for the outcome. That's what I'm trying to say in a nutshell.
I don't. Yeah.
I'm crazy, man. When I start smoking weed, I become an idiot.
You need to find the right blend for you, JJ. There's a huge variety.
Yeah.
No,
if I smoke Lonzo shit, I'll just put a pillow
stupid.
right here.
I'm telling you that's true, man. Because that gelato shit that I had, holy, that fucked me up bad, man.
Yeah, I don't blame the environments all the time. It's all like circumstantial, but you know, for me, usually when I interact with humans, you know, I tend to you know, ask them a lot of questions and try to figure out why they're doing and saying certain things, because it's always drastically different from myself most of the time. But I don't really tell them to not do certain things. It's just if I understand that they have a certain way of thinking and it causes some sort of pain, then I give them advice or things that they can do to correct that. But a lot of that just stems from their way of thinking. Like, you know, this is how I do something, so everyone else has to do it. And that's never been how I was thinking at all, because with all of my friends, they're not like me in the way that I think. They're all very different from me, but we're still friends because, you know, I accept them for who they are as long as there is respect and they don't betray me. I'm like, you can do whatever the hell you want with your life. You only get one, so you know, you shouldn't let humans tell you how to think and feel and live. It's none of their goddamn business what you do, as long as you're not harming somebody else.
You're happy in your own skin.
But you see, what you're doing is what needs to be done, creating conversation with respect. And that's the main issue today. There is no conversation. And then there's conversation with a whole lot of lack of respect, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what I meant about eating at the table. Is like, for me, it's eating at the table. Some families might eat in the living room together or whatever, you know. I'm just saying the main case is creating that conversation in a household without the electronics being a distraction is key. It has to come back to the fundamentals in order, you know, people have to, you know, they say we have to look back at the past in order to, you know, make the future better, right?
Yeah, because that's how
what they're doing now is they're erasing our past.
Yeah.
They say that everything is wrong. It's not right.
We sat at the dinner table every evening, and I know a lot of people hate hanging around with me because of this, because we go out to eat, go do whatever. I'm gonna start a conversation, because to me, sitting at the dinner table, like Geishka was talking about, was that was time for the family to communicate. Everyone, mom, dad, me. I got two brothers and two sisters. They weren't there all at the same time, but you know, if somebody else was there, you know, this is where the communication played a role. And I agree with them. The electronics need to go away at certain points during the day or during their life, because it's going to take them away from being human.
But you see, there's a difference in what I was doing with my TV, because when I was young, we gave an hour to the TV and 14 hours outside. So
absolutely,
you know, it wasn't like TV was a deterrent or anything. It was just something to watch where we didn't have the conversation. But I get what you guys are saying. It's a time for family to intertwine and blend.
Like, here's what happened one time. Like, when I was at a friend's house, where a lot of my close friends, we gather. You know, it could be anywhere from 5 to 14 of us all into that particular house. And you know, sometimes you'll have new faces. You know, my friends will have someone that's their friend, but you know, I don't give a shit about that human, but that human is there. So you know, there's like a basic level of respect. One time I was on my phone and there was this particular female that wanted to talk to me because that was the first time that she saw me there. So she was trying to get to know me. And I saw her walk into the room and look, and she left, and she did this a few times. So and then she finally sat down and she's like, "Oh, I want to talk to you, but you're using your phone." And I'm like, "Oh." And then I like turned it off and put it down and I stared at her and she got really uncomfortable. Like she was surprised that I was able to do that and give her all of my attention. I'm like, you know, if you want to have a
Couldn't handle it.
conversation, yeah, she was just like, "Oh shit, he actually, you know, he
Did I ask for
actually."
too much?
Right. She was like, "Damn, what?" It's like her response was like, "What did I get into?" Because I gave her all my attention. She said she wanted to talk, so I was like, "Yeah." I put the phone down. I mean, you know, I was reading some stuff, but I'm like, it can wait. If she wants to talk to me, I can do it later because, you know, I was just telling her that, you know, this is not a distraction. I mean, I use it for different things, but you know, if I want or need to talk, then that can happen, and this can be on the table or I
Right.
can put it in the drawer if that's what you want, you know. So, you know, after maybe like 5 minutes or so, when she got comfortable, she was just saying that she wasn't used to that, you know, like I was, you know, my posture was a certain way, and I gave her my attention. There was eye contact, and she just was kind of startled as she explained that I just did it that quickly. And I'm like, well, I don't know what kind of humans you talk to, but I'm Terrence. If you say you want to talk, like just understand that I can talk forever and never run out of things to say. This conversation will go as far as you want it to, but you will not experience any of the things that you may encounter, like in terms of any barriers or shame or embarrassment. Like, what do you want to talk about? Like I asked her, what do you want to talk about? And then she just, you know, was talking about you know, our friends there and how I felt about them, how I came into the equation, you know, stuff like that. And we talked for like an hour. And then she was the one that decided to leave. But I gave her the amount of time that she wanted to talk. That's what I did.
And sometimes that's what you have to do, man. It's like I guess sometimes you got to put that phone down, man, because at the end of the day, man, we spend so much time on social media. We spend so much time on our phones. Then it's TV and this and that. And if you have a family, you got to spend time with the family sometimes, man. You just got to. That shit's got to go get put away, and you got to do what you have to do, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
I don't know, man. At the end of the day, it gets to the point where this cancel culture shit really does have to stop. Because we're going to be living in demolition land, man, where all we have is fucking Taco Bell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know
Okay,
what?
Anzo, if
If you
that
start a
happens,
petition,
if that happens, oh man.
it would be crazy if that shit
you
happened.
start a
But
petition, Facebook will shut you down
Mhm.
because that's what they want. This is gaining a lot of attention.
Mhm.
It's gaining a lot of buzz. It's gaining a lot of fucking rhetoric with people fighting and arguing. Like I saw Guy Scar's comment to that woman. I read it. I threw my 5 cents. I don't even know where she is. But she's gonna feel me with that stupidity she's fucking blurting out there. Like again, you know, I could find fault in her leaving her house. Does that mean she's under house arrest?
Exactly.
Fuck, man, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
But it was a great fucking topic, yo.
Yeah.
it was fire.
So
I'll actually go through the chat before we move on. But go ahead, Terrence. Do you think?
yeah, I saw, I don't know how many times I've seen Demolition Man. It's easily more than 10 times from beginning to end. Um, I saw that when I was a kid, and even when I was a kid, before I turned into the Terrence that you're listening to now, there was always like the need to ask questions and pushbacks because there were so many things where like in Demolition Man, you know, you can't do that. That's bad. Or we've established that this is wrong or this has been canceled. And I'm like, why is that? And every time I would ask, the answer was never good enough for me, you know, to where I'm just like, okay, I need not ask any more questions. So if that shit happens, well, you gonna get a Terrence Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have the overalls with the dyed blonde hair and shit. Like that's what's gonna happen because there is no way that I'm gonna let a bunch of humans go. Terrence, you need to stop that. Turn around. Okay, I'll show you some turn around.
Turn around with a roundhouse kick, right? Austinator said there are way worse things to complain about even then. Yeah, that's correct. Like, I mean, it's like Aishka said, like they're canceling all this stuff, but you can go and pop in your fucking Grand Theft Auto. You can run around, shoot people, fuck girls. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. Like kids are playing these video games. They're not watching Pepe Le Pew. They're playing these video games. You know what I mean? This generation's not watching fucking Pepe Le Pew.
Cyberpunk, you know, you can give yourself 2 dicks.
2 penises. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes. But they're not watching Pepe Le Pew, so you want to
talk about confusion right there.
Ridiculous.
Yo, what's this guy's name? Something the Destroyer.
Who?
There's some kind of rapper. My daughter gave me a playlist. This is back in the day, you know. I was gonna make a CD for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she gave me this rapper, Something the Destroyer.
I don't know.
He's fucking huge right now. Maybe I'm saying his name wrong, but I obviously listened to the songs before I put it on the CD. And when I heard this guy, I was like, what would compel kids to even want to listen to this shit?
You know what I mean? Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna get his name before this show's over.
You know what it is, bro?
Like, what?
You know what it is, bro? We're getting old.
No, you know what?
But we still have taste. We still have taste, though. That's the thing.
This is my topic. What I wanted to get off my chest.
Okay, cool.
I love music, and I can almost say I love all genres. There's maybe 1 or 2 that fucking irk me and get no play on any system that I have playing. That is that, sorry if I offend you, that hardcore French rap. That shit ain't getting no play on my system. My younger daughter's boyfriend plays that shit, and I tell him, hey, if I hear it on your earphones, it's too loud. You know what I mean? I can't. Scratch a chalkboard. I'd rather that. And the other one isn't coming to me right now, but we grew up, I can honestly say, when rap was created. We heard the best of the best. I can't even get into naming 1 or 2 because I can name 1,000 easily that none of you guys would disagree with me on my selection. So because I like to train and I like to train with music, it is my distraction. If I don't have music, I can't train. I can't. Like I literally can't train. It just takes me away that I don't really reflect on what I'm doing.
When you're talking about physical training, correct?
Yes, when I work out, exactly, T. And I want to update my fucking playlist because, you know, I listen to music. I train almost every day. I do cardio. I do some form of training, and it always involves music. And my playlist is getting a little played out because I'm listening to it all the time. So I want to update it. So I go on rap. Yes, Terrence.
Here we go.
Roberto, to your point, you know, for me, I've been training for more than 18 years, mind and body, you know, doing different things. So, in regards to the music stuff, you know, there are times where I will train with music. Then there are times where it's just me in the space, the silence. And then there are times where I'll have certain sounds in the background. You know, it could be rain, it could be thunder. You know, I've done that. There are times where an interview is playing and I'm just listening to someone speak as I'm doing training. You know, there's that too. So I've done many things. I can't really say that I need any particular thing to do my physical training. I mean, I have preferences, but I've gone without having any like an iPod or a phone or anything. So it's interesting, like what a person can use or what they feel that they need in order to do some sort of physical training. It's interesting. I like talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you get to get every perspective of what actually gets person through this mission, as I call it. Because for me, it is a mission. If you don't, it took me many years to realize that it's psychological, even though I heard it throughout my 30 on and off years of training. People would tell me it's all psychological, and I'd tell them, go fuck yourself, because maybe that's what works. That's the kind of attitude I had, and I don't have that attitude no more. And it's too bad I carried that attitude with me so long, because I missed out on so much. But my point isn't in the realm of training. It's more so music. And you listen to a rap song and you like it and you save, and then you hear the next one, you skip, you hear the next one, you skip, you hear the next one, you skip. All I'm doing is skipping. I feel like I'm getting a skip rope workout.
Hi, everyone.
When I'm trying to find rap.
What's up?
Yo, what's up,
Nightwing?
Oh, how you guys doing? What are we talking about tonight? Sorry, I'm late, dude. You know how busy I am, man, with YouTube and shit like that. Sorry, man. Whew.
Don't worry.
I'm coming in with music and the N-word. I'm listening to these fucking songs, and all I hear is nigga, 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 bitch, nigga, nigga, nigga. Yo, nigga, nigga. I don't even know what origin they are anymore, because everybody's doing it. If you remove that word from their music, will it not sell?
You know what I mean?
Will they have a lyric, let alone 2 lyrics worth of fucking in their music? Right. Anzo, if I tell you in the last 2 years I've only downloaded instrumentals,
I can believe you.
And I grabbed the odd 1 or 2 because they're different. But the baby, for instance, this guy's voice is fucking gold. But the amount of times he uses the nigga word, the amount of times it's like, come on, man. Like, my beef with this word is that we could use it, but nobody else can. Is there any other culture that does something like this, where they could say a word and nobody else can, and if you do, we'll fuck you up?
Nope.
Who?
Yes.
Who?
Yeah. Who?
Oh, I like that. I like the argument you brought up, though, and we had this problem in my streams, like back then, because like people got mad, or more black people got mad that the N-word was being used by. It was okay. So basically, I'll just sum it up really quick, right? So there's this guy on Twitter called Niggalations, right? He's mostly just talk shit about women, right? Niggalations profit and Niggalations, right? So the white guys were saying Niggalations, and African American people watching had a problem with that. I was like, they're not saying it in a derogatory way. They're just saying what his name is. That's completely different, though. You know what I mean? So,
isn't that fucked up?
No, but
that's fucked up.
To me, I think the word should be dropped from the English language.
Thank you very much.
I agree with that too.
Thank you very much. Because why are we carrying it? It has no substance. It's all negative.
And now for me personally, I don't take words offensive. I mean, I have white friends that say it. I have Hispanic friends. I had a white girl. I got in her car. She gave me a ride home. She said the N-word. She was like, "Are you okay with that?" I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, words affect me like that. People got to stop being sensitive with the word. The word is only going to have power if you give it to it. That's it. That's really it.
It's all about the context. All the time.
That's what I was going to say.
You see, and I agree with you. That's why we're getting on the topic, because your generation feels that way, right? But if you go and talk like that to an older black woman, they're not going to feel the same way.
I think you have to read the room. I think you have to read the room. And if most friends are okay with you saying it, hey, go for it. Say as much as you want. But if people are not okay with it, then
but my point being is
it does depend on the relatives, because like,
why do we even need it?
I don't think you need it personally.
We don't. It doesn't. Listen, what? It has more substance than homie, than dog, bruh. Like, what is it about it?
I just say dude. Like, you're my friend. I call you dude. Hey, what's up, bro? Dude,
right,
bro.
exactly.
Yeah, we don't say that up here. I'm sorry. We don't really use that word up here.
Really?
Unless it's somebody who is of that origin. Like, it's funny. With my Scotian friends, I'll say it, because they sound somewhat American. So you feel like you're accommodating them, Like, when someone comes here from another country, they're from, let's say, Russia, and they barely speak English, you talk English like this so they understand. You know?
That's pretty good. I like that.
It
you know
just
what I mean?
depends.
No, but what I
think
was saying, look at all the energy what you're saying, talking about reading the room and looking who's around you. Why have to put all that energy for one word? If you have to put that much energy, then don't use the word, because the word is negative. It's historically negative and shouldn't be used. And as long as I was on a chat with my friend Quentin about the guy from Papa John's. He came out and said, "Oh, I'm trying really hard. I'm really hard not to say the N-word." It's like, for God's sakes, man. But as long as the N-word is being used in music, is being used in youth today,
by us,
it's never going to dispute. Exactly.
Okay, here's the thing, though. Like, with some of my family members, obviously most of them are black. So depending on, because I've been around like large number of family members where you have older, black individuals, and they're okay, when we say the N-word. And then there's some where, they respond negatively to it. So depending on, which humans I'm around, I may not say it as much, not because there's a fear of what they're going to think, but just so, we don't get into these negative situations. Because for me, I'll use it from time to time. I mean, I don't have to, but it's just, to me, I'm like, look, it's all about the context. I remember, Chris Rock said that in his stand-up. He's like, it's not the word, it's about the context in which the word is used. And I agree with that. Like, if you understand that the person is not trying to cause any harm, then I think that humans should relax. But at the same time, if they feel a certain way about whatever sort of word, even if it's not meant to be used in a bad way, that is their right to feel that way. Like, if I say something, my whole thing is like, my intention is never to harm any human. I'm going to speak my mind, and I have this policy of like, I don't give a shit what any human thinks. Like, too bad, so sad. But at the same time, it's not ever going to be I'm saying this to hurt you. If what I say happens to affect the human, then it's more the human's fault than mine. I'm just like, oh, I guess what I said about you was true, but I'm not trying to gain any points. And like, you have to explain these things to humans, no matter the race or the gender, because it's the explanation that will make all the difference. Now, in today's day and age, with all these spineless marshmallow humans walking around, I can explain everything for 10 hours and they will still be upset and try to find a reason to cancel me, because they only hear what they want to hear. And if I'm not moving and talking and doing everything in the way that they want, they will find a problem with me or anyone else, and they will go out of their way to do and say whatever. That's just what a lot of humans do nowadays.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you know what? It's wrong. I'm sorry. Listen, my beef is, and I'm black, last time I checked. How could I have a word that I could say and know the meaning of it, but yet if my white friend I know is only saying it to me with his best intention of what's up?
Oh, shit.
Up, buddy. In front of my friends want to kill him. Like, it can't have a double standard like that. It's either it has the power of what it does, or it has no relevance.
Yeah, your
as long as it has association to nigger.
But your argument,
but as long as it has association to the ER.
Your argument is, if I can't use it, no one else should. Something like that.
No, that's not my argument. That's
his argument is saying that he says he can use it, but other people can't use it. But that's not even true in the full terms anyway. You walk into a building, even you can't use it.
Sure, I could.
Well, I'm saying that there are other, like, if you walk into someone else's building and if they want to kick you out for saying that word, they'll kick you out for saying that word. See what I'm saying? Like, it's double standard, but it's not, because it's not acceptable, not everywhere. It's not like you get a free pass to say it. You get a free pass to say it within your own Reich,
no, listen,
but not anywhere you want to use it.
Black guys and say,
it's a racial slur.
Hold on, LDG. I could walk up against black guys and say, and I don't know them, what up, niggas? You think they're going to respond to me the same way if Geiskar says it?
Absolutely not.
No, I understand. I understand.
This is what I'm
trying to say. Like Terrence said, context is everything. In that situation, you might be right, but in a million other situations, it's not the same.
Like that's what I'm trying to say.
Everything has a double standard.
Okay,
but it shouldn't. That's my point.
Nothing should.
It's not a point that it does. Come on, man. It can't be so vague. This is
no,
something.
I'm not trying to make it vague.
Okay, like I guess
people will not progress.
Okay, I should probably clarify then. Now.
Hold on, let him finish. Let Roberto finish.
This is my topic, guys.
Yeah, let him finish.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I don't feel that black people will take a step forward until they get rid of these stupid concepts that they have of this N-word is number one.
Mm-hmm.
It should not be used. It has no substance.
No.
Why do you have to keep enforcing it? I watched something.
Robert?
You remember Donahue? Sorry, it's Roberto.
Yeah, I do.
I was like,
yeah.
Robert,
sorry, Robert. Just let me add to that one thing you just said. Okay. You said it has no substance. I can tell you one place I see it having very much substance, and it's a good and bad thing at the same time. Comedy. Friday, the movie Friday, it does have a place, and it's put there by us. I get what you're saying, but I just wanted to say that.
Remove those words out of the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It will still be funny. Yeah. That does not make it funnier. It just makes it. Sorry to say, they think it makes it more black.
That is correct.
This is what I take from it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but what is the purpose? The purpose is negative because I don't believe in. I'm not a follower of Farrakhan, right? Mm-hmm. I watched this interview with this guy from 1994 with Donahue.
Yep, I seen it.
I sent it to you. Did you watch it?
I seen it. I didn't see you send it to me, but I seen it way before. I seen it.
This guy is talking about all facts. Facts. Maybe he's a little harsh in his way, but he's talking about facts, and people are fucking denouncing him. Politicians are getting together to denounce this guy. You know why? Because he's talking the truth. And if enough people believe it, then these guys get called out. That's why they denounce people like this. You don't denounce these fucking guys who are blatantly on TV being racist.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you shoot innocent people. There's just too much fuckery going on. And until we start making changes in our own community, we will never change. This is just my opinion.
That is
I'm not saying it's fact. It's 100%. Just my opinion.
No, you are absolutely right. Because what we do is we sensitize people to that word. If we're using it, we're desensitizing people to be like, oh yeah, well they use it. Because my girlfriend did one time. We were joking around and she was like, nigga, please. And the joke, if you would have heard a record scratch,
I wish I saw your face.
It was like,
man, I know that feeling.
It was like, yep. And I said,
hang on.
She didn't mean it in a bad way.
Exactly.
But it's just the stigma.
It didn't feel right coming from her.
Exactly.
Right? And then I spoke to my son about it. And my son was like, well, no, because she said, well, you and your son say it. And I said, we're black. You know what I mean? My son's from that generation. You know what I mean? No, I get it. But that's what I said. I said, we're black. You know what I mean? And then I asked my son about it. And his generation, he's like, so what? My white friends say it all the time.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Sorry, man.
Right?
Because they're easygoing. Could you blame them, Anzo? Could you blame them?
No,
because every rap song they listen to, it is said over and over and over and over in their head, like fucking brainwashing. So now, they have their headphones on. They're so used to saying it at home. They're in the metro. Nigga, please. Nigga, please. Oh, he opens up his eyes and then he's getting a fucking major beatdown.
Every second word that comes out of their conversation is the N-word. Yeah, what up, nigga? What you say?
Like Danny said, it is like a culture. And
thank you.
In the South, they use it as a part of their language. And I'm not denouncing them, but at the same time, there's called evolution, there's called change, like we can't keep crying about something and not making sacrifices ourselves to better ourselves, to show that, hey, and not give the other people a tool to say, hey, you guys are killing yourselves. You guys kill probably more of your own than we kill you.
Yeah, I've been saying this for years to various humans, because I've heard, humans say different things, not just the N word, but it could be anything where you can picture, either a certain person or a certain group of humans being mad. And more often than not, they will say, Terrence, how do you feel about this? Or if they don't know my name and I'm in the vicinity, I've been asked, how do you feel about this? And I'm like, well, it don't bother me. I mean, somebody else might get mad, because I have to assess everything on the situation, whatever the context is, the circumstances. If I believe for the slightest second that the person didn't mean anything, I'm like, they don't have to spend all this time explaining to me. I'm like, a lot of the reactions are going to be emotional based anyway, and you're not going to get that kind of stuff from me. I'm like, I know what you meant, or I know what you said, and I understand. Now, when you're dealing with these humans and stuff, I'm like, they may not be as understanding. Depending on who you're talking to, they might get mad, they might want to beat you up or whatever. I'm like, it don't bother me like that. So you don't have to explain. Now, if I'm curious, I will ask them, but it's not because it's like, oh, they better, calm me down because of this and that. I'm like, I cannot control how humans think and what they say. All I can do is control how I respond to it, and what I say in response if I decide to say something. So I'm just like, I'm not going to take offense. And it is weird. Like if I'm walking down the street and there's say 20 white dudes and they're just all throwing the N-word around, I might glance over like, oh, okay, and then I'll just keep walking, but it just, again, it depends on how they're using it. If it's just casual, I'd be like, oh, that's a little different, and keep walking. But if they're adding the ER and there's a lot of hate, then naturally, if I have to go that way, I'm like, well, they might try to do something to me if they see me. But that would be the only reason as to why I would have any extra thought, just because I might have to protect myself, because these humans have hate in their heart. To me, there are differences. So I really like to assess every person in every situation. Now, you'll have a lot of humans that say, that takes too much energy and we shouldn't have to do that. But for me, it doesn't take any energy. It's like my natural instinct to do that. In fact, that's part of my training anyway, is to assess and analyze everything. That's my natural thing, regardless of what it may be for humans. So I just look at so many things differently, but at the same time, I can adapt and respect the sentiments of others. Like me being on this stream, right? If I were to say something and, everyone on the panel, say they got their feelings hurt and stuff, I can, adjust it to where, you guys don't want to kick me off. But at the same time, I would tell you, if it gets to the point to where I have to completely change who I am to be on a panel or to be in the presence of humans, I'd rather not be there, because humans are not going to change, Terrence. That's just not going to be a thing. So luckily, this is not a thing with this particular panel. You guys do not have a problem with me, because you guys would have told me, I would imagine. So, I believe that I am fine, but I'm just, throwing this out there for the sake of the full picture and the clarity.
Now, everybody's opinion on this show is accepted. You guys are all fine. You know what I mean? That's what this show is about. But I'll say this too. We talk about the word, right? I could go on Facebook and I can write the nigger word 100 times on my page. The minute I say fag, I get blocked. Both derogatory words, both are degrading to whoever they're talking about, but yet one is accepted and the other one gets blocked right away.
Yeah,
you know why that is, Lonzo?
I was blocked because I used that word too. I called someone a stupid faggot because he said something completely retarded, and I got blocked for 30 days on Facebook. Now, this is the issue here, is that I can only speak for myself. When I argue with someone, and let's say we're yelling at each other, I don't take what people say in arguments as serious, though.
Okay.
What people do. You know, I think people say things out of the heat of the moment that they don't truly mean. Did I mean to call that guy that word? I think I did, but honestly, did he deserve it? I'm not going to be the person to judge that, right? It's one of those things where each situation, like Terrence said, is just different. You just have to assess things differently. And when you're talking online, you don't even know the context of what was said. Like the context of the words online are so different between how, I guess, we're talking right here. Like I
face to face.
Yeah, like
you can only read so much into words.
That's true. Yeah, like
there's no emotion behind it.
Maybe he took what I said wrong, and maybe I took what he said wrong, and things came out differently. But that's text.
To your point, I've had humans, even my friends, family. I've had so many humans do this. They're like, Terrence, I'm pretty sure you say stuff you don't mean when you're mad. I'm like, no, that never happens. Anything that I say to a person, I mean. There is no, because look, when humans get upset and when they drink, they tend to get a little bit more brave, and their anger allows them to have a false sense of courage to say the stuff that they wanted to say. They use that as an excuse to be stronger than what they actually are. So I'm like, I don't look at it as like, oh, he said that he was angry, he didn't mean it. I'm like, nah, he meant that shit. There's varying degrees to it, but it comes from somewhere, whether it's like on level 5 or level 10, however you want to break it down. But if someone is getting mad, like if I get into, say, an argument with my brother, and then all of a sudden I say, I hate you. That is some human shit. You will never see me doing nothing like that. I will not say that. I will let him know, hey, you're being weak, or you need to stop being emotional. I need you to look at this. And then I will respond based on what he's saying. But sometimes he'll say shit like, oh, fuck you, and I don't need to deal with you anymore over something small. And I'm just like, does he mean that, or is it just in the moment? I'm like, well, he meant that in the moment, but then, like I said, you have to assess it to varying degrees, but that came from somewhere. He had been wanting to say that to me the whole week, and I know that because I asked him about it. Like, where did that come from? He's like, I wanted to tell you that before when you pissed me off, but it just wasn't the right time. It didn't come out. And I'm just like, that's what humans do. You don't like, that's where the complexities come in. You don't get that with me. I'm like, however I deal with you on a regular basis is the truth. I don't need to be angry to tell you. I don't need to be drunk. You're going to get 100% the truth all the time. So the humans that interact with me, especially my friends, they all have taken great comfort in that, because they know that there are certain levels of consistency when dealing with Terrence. They don't have to worry about a lot of the bullshit that they get when they deal with humans, because to me, it causes too many problems. Like, why do that? But humans, they say they don't mean to do it, but there's a consistency to that kind of behavior. And then they justify it to themselves and to each other. And I'm like, you do and be yourself, but I don't want to play that sort of a game, because I think it's a game.
And what you're saying is as well, when people say there's no accountability for it either, right? Because they can easily excuse that as, oh, it was in the heat of the moment type thing, right? You
right. Can't have that either. Right. That's true, because that's a great point, guys. Scar, like, because that's true too. That's happened so many times. I've had friends where all I was trying to do was help them, because they were, as I told them, I'd say stuff like, you're being weak. You need to stop that. Like, you're doing this to yourself. Like, this is not about like, you experiencing physical pain. This is all a mental thing. And, like I would tell them, I'm like, I don't care how many cars you can bench press. If you have the mind of a bitch, then I consider you a weakling. I say stuff like that, and it's 100% the truth. So, and then they use that as a way to go, you know what, Terrence, you've always been fucking weird. And it goes into all this, like, what humans would call low blows. And I'm like, so now you reveal that, like, what took you so long? And then later on, like, whether it be that day, humans need time to recover from shit, right? It could be that day. It could be some weeks, some months. They'll hold on to that shit. And then randomly on a Sunday, they'll call you or they'll drop by like, T, man, I didn't mean it like that. I want you to know that we still boys and stuff. And I'm like, damn well you meant that shit. I'm like, why you lying? And then they kind of would chuckle a little bit. And I'm like, look, if you're going to do or say something, I would prefer that you have a spine and own up to that shit. I would respect you more, even if I don't like you, if you own up to that shit. Like if you're a scumbag, own up to being a scumbag. Don't act like you're somebody nice and shit. Like why you gotta lie to kick it?
I'm an asshole.
See?
Hey, why should I give you the power to call me an asshole? Yeah.
Right. And it's the same thing. You need to let humans know, right? Like I've had the same kind of the same side of the coin. Like, T, you were pretending like you liked me. I was like, no, I never fucking liked you. I told you I didn't like you. I'm like, what the fuck? Like the only person I was disillusioned was you. I'm like, I never said once, you know what? I like you. Cause I will tell you, I'm like, if you have to guess and wonder, then Terrence don't fucking like you. If you have to think about it, that's how I tell humans.
I'll tell people through my actions. If I don't like talk to you, I ignore most of what you say. I probably don't care for what you have to say. And it's like I don't believe in wasting people's time. I like time is so precious. I don't believe we should be wasting our time on people we just don't enjoy being around and things you just don't want to do. Also, I like what Terrence brought up. Like some things I do say in the heat of the moment, I do generally mean, but sometimes that could be good because in like the game I play, League of Legends, sometimes when the players have arguments, sometimes they say things in the heat of the moment that they really do mean, and sometimes that can be a really good thing actually because now you identified the real problem and now you can actually work for the real problem. So it's always good to hear
that's true. Though. That's true as well. Like I'll give you that. That is a very strong point. However, I keep going back to the whole, what took you so long, right? Like, cause like if you look at like a very sensitive aspect, like relationships, right? You know how many of my friends that are either just a standard relationship or married, and they say to me, I can't say that, T, I can't do that. And I'm like, why not? And there's usually a emotional reason behind it. Cause I'm like, but you just told me what you feel that you need to do or say that would eliminate your problem or make it a high possibility to eliminate it or adjust it or something. Like basically get you in a different position, but now you don't wish to entertain that. That seems to be terribly illogical. And then they go to the whole, well, she's going to leave me or she's not going to talk to me or she's going to leave the house or something. And I'm like, well, if that is the case, then I feel bad for you because your partner is unreasonable. If you cannot express yourself and then she has the respect to at least listen to you, because last time I checked, any sort of relationship, whether it be together in the romantic sense or even a friendship, communication is important, which starts 100%. With being honest.
You know what you should have told your friend? Do you have that thing? Do you have that thing between your leg called a pair of balls?
Oh no, I've had those conversations plenty of times. I'm like, yo, man, you gotta have some balls. And then they'll say to me like they be making they girl sound like she like Mephisto or some kind of demon or some shit. And I'm like, man, it ain't that bad. And they're like, but that's disrespectful. And I'm like, so that's how it works. Whenever you tell the truth, it's disrespectful. I got you. That is some human shit. I got you. Okay.
Absolutely. And one of these days, man, hopefully things will get better. Great topics, guys, man. That shit was fire. LDG, did you have anything you wanted to input? Because you were quiet. Or JJ, you guys were pretty quiet. You're muted.
I help if I unmute all 12. Yeah, there was a couple things I wanted to talk about, but I'm not a fan of the topic, honestly. I think the word, if it needs to be disappeared, it needs to be stopped being used, period. But that's not going to happen from some law. That's not going to happen from some YouTube channel. That's not going to happen from some news article. That's going to happen when everyone wakes up one day and says, you know what? I'm done. Stop using it. Just stop using it. It's a racial slur. Okay? The N-word is not the only racial slur out there. This isn't the number one racial slur. Every racial slur is number one in my book. Every single one. Okay? No matter which one gets the limelight in America or Canada or the Middle East, because there are just as bad racial slurs out there. They're just as bad as the N-word that people will stick a knife up your gut if you say it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the one that's most accepted to say is the N-word. And that's a problem.
That's besides the point. That's a topic that doesn't hold. The word holds more meaning than that does. The fact is, it's a racial slur. End of story.
I know
End
that.
it.
I know that. That's exactly what I'm saying. But the one that's more acceptable, because like I said, you can go on Facebook or one of these social medias and you can write any slur word you want. You'll get banned except for the N-word.
I'm telling you this is a fact, LDG, because listen, I was playing FIFA like 3 years ago on Xbox Live, and I raged on a guy and I said, you effing bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? I got banned for a week from Xbox Live. I couldn't connect to anything.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
just from that. Just from that. People can say it all the time live, and they're not banned.
Again, you're only using 2 of the words. You'll still get banned for saying other racial slurs.
Yes, but
and you won't get banned from and you won't get banned for other racial slurs. But that's not, like I said, this is not the point that needs to be focused on.
I say we should all go
online.
All
racial slurs you can use, and you will not get banned for. The reason why you get banned for the F word is because they loud motherfuckers. Okay.
I don't get banned for the F word.
The people who are referred to the F word, they are some loud motherfuckers. Okay,
that is correct. That is correct.
That is why that word has gotten the slam brakes on. Okay, and it's only at this particular time. Everything happens in cycles, right? Soon another word is going to hit the spot. Soon another word is going to hit the spotlight. That's going to be, mark my words. There's going to be another word that pops up. It keeps cycling. 20 years ago or 10 years ago, it might have been the N word. Now it's the N word. Then it's going to be another word.
LGD is basically what you're saying is that people are cherry picking which ones they find okay when none of them are okay at all to say.
None of them are okay. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
You know, out of respect for the LGBTQ plus community and the fact that I have friends that are part of that community, it was interesting in the beginning because they actually made a point to, talk to me about things that offend them, that they're used to others saying out of hate. And, I let them know right away. I'm like, first of all, we're friends. So, if I had some sort of issue with anyone in your community, friendship would not be possible. That's number one. And then I was like, number two, I was like, you will never hear me say that word. I'm like, even if I get upset at you, which is extremely unlikely, I'm like, I'm not going to use that word because that is a low blow. And once I explain this to them, then they believe me. We never had that conversation again because before they knew where I was coming from with that, they took what I said and then they applied it to who I am as a person. Like if I say something, then that's what it is. Like I'm like, the human can doubt me all they want. That's their choice. But I like to say stuff so that way the human can't go, I've never heard Terrence speak on that, so it must be ... and ... I'm like, okay, you motherfucker. I guess I gotta explain it because that's what you gotta do. But you also have the risk of humans twisting your words. But I'm like, look, you twist them up all you want, but I told you what it is. I'm like, no, it's terrible if somebody says that to you because we all know what it comes from. So I'm just like, no, you won't hear that from me. And whoever called you that, I'm just like, that's unfortunate because even if they apologize, I'm like, why did you have to go there? You know what I'm saying? Just why you got to go to the low blows? That's why I don't do that kind of shit. Like, I feel like they do that either because that's really how they feel or because they don't have anything else to say. So they're just like, damn, I gotta say something quick to counteract this. All right, low blow real quick, and that'll throw them off their game. It's like, yeah, but why are you trying to throw somebody off their game? What happened to just a regular discussion?
Yep. And my thing is, and I don't know about now, but I remember they used to call themselves that F word too. You know what I mean? When they're in their little LGBT group, they would say it all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same type of thing. Absolutely. But at this point now, like nobody can say it. So I don't know if they're still saying it to each other. I don't know that. That's what I'm saying. But
no, they do. The concept of a derogatory term taken by the very people or group of people or organization that it is to be degraded to, taking that word for their own. The N-word isn't the first time this has happened. Okay, it's normal for that to happen. Matter of fact, it's happened a number of times. Okay, I mean, even in Star Trek, they showed an example of that with changeling, where changeling used to be a derogatory term, and then they took it for themselves. Yeah. Anywho, but yeah, exactly.
To your point, Anzo, right? You know, some my friends that would fall into that community from time to time. I've heard them say it to each other, right? And then they look at me and I'm like, what? Like, you know, and they're like, oh, you know, if you joking around, T, you can call us that. And I'm like, no. And they're just like, we don't understand, Terrence. I thought you said that you're not afraid to say anything. I'm like, human, I didn't tell you that I was afraid to say it. There's a difference between me not wanting to say it and me being afraid to do something. You know, afraid implies that I care about your reaction to something that I said. That will never be the case. But what it is that while I can say it and have no problem saying it if I want to say it, but I'm just like, it's not natural for me to do it in the way that you guys did. I'm like, now from time to time, it's natural for the N word to come out. But for me to say, you know, that F word, I'm like, that's not natural. Like for me just to kind of slip it out there like that. But even like I told them with the N word, I'm like, we just had a 5-minute conversation where I didn't say it once. So I was trying to get them to see that it's not something that has to be done, but a person can choose. But it all depends on who it's coming from and why. So that's why I'm like, this thing could kind of go in circles. So what I tend to do is like, look, there is a basic level of respect. And with that, we can decide to go wherever we're going to go. But just understand that Terrence is not out to get you. And I respect you as long as you respect me. And I try to keep it as simple as that. And hopefully, you know, humans don't complicate it with all their emotions and stuff. I'm like, don't do all that. That's how wars start. Keep the emotions, lock them up, leave them over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Darren. I don't know if they do either. I'm not sure.
Just for the record, and I don't know if this is some good news or what, but Google the list of racial slurs. Okay, there's a wiki page on it. It'll tell you a whole shitload of racial slurs. There are over 30 of them that are related to black people.
Absolutely.
And the only one left is the N-word that we seem to need to clarify, to fix. So out of all 30-something, the only one that's left that has any kind of remaining obstacle to overcome is one of them.
Yeah.
Look them up. Do you see anybody calling, you see any of those other terms being used in everyday or movies or whatnot?
Weren't we just on a stream, MSK and Anzo, where the dude was like, these colors?
Yeah,
remember?
Colors.
Not gonna lie, that was the actual funniest. I never, dude. There's been only 2 streams where I think I've laughed that hard. I don't know why I'm interacting with you colored people. It's like some hillbilly in a fucking 80s movie. I can interact with these colored niggers. It's like, what the fuck?
And
don't go get down with the South now, because we're with it right now. Yeah?
I was called a spear chucker. And that shit had me laughing so hard because I never heard that before.
He was like, you 3 basketball players, bro. There's 5 people on the screen. You actual illiterate. You cannot even count. What? 5 people on a stream.
Well, okay. So on that term, if you look it up, by the way, up until about the year 2000, the 20th century, the word colored was supposed to be the politically correct term of saying it. That was what society was pushing. That's why we're hearing it. That's technically not a slur unless you take it as a slur. That's what was the push to be the politically correct way of saying it. So I think that's why it still
right, but
lingers around.
that human LDG, the way that person used it, you know what I mean?
That guy was just being a troll. Yeah, but he was obviously just trolling for fun.
I didn't take what he said seriously. We both
I was there. I was there. It was funny.
Oblivion. Oblivion.
We did. We
did. And you toasted his ass for it.
Enzo said his mom should have had a Mandingo train ran on her by us.
Yo, it's not every day you get to see the entire panel turn on a troll like that and just totally destroy him, dude.
Right. Yeah.
It was fun.
He said he didn't like anything. He said he didn't like anything dark related. Yet his fucking thumbnail picture was something dark related.
Yeah.
I was like,
you know what the funny part is, because I'm here watching the stream, and when he spoke, everybody on the panel like looked at the camera. It's like, just looking at that guy. It was like,
color. But that's the thing,
man.
Why don't you guys go play basketball? He's like, why don't you guys go play basketball or something? Oh no, I haven't heard the black guy playing basketball one.
Neckbeard, a guy called me a neckbeard or a bearded neck guy or some shit. That was funny.
Yeah, one time
it was good.
one time I was in Target, and there was a human in my way, happened to be a white human, and I said, "Oh, excuse me, I want to get by here," and I go by, and just all I heard was "darky," and it was just like with the tone of voice. I was like, I looked back, and I smiled, and then that person walked the other way. I was like, yeah, like that was silly as hell. But I was just waiting to see if that human was gonna do something, because it was something about the tone of voice and stuff. I was like, damn, like, I mean, I don't know what my people did to you, but last time I checked, excuse me is not a bad thing. Like,
the same thing happened to me. I was walking down my street just last year, one of these streets down by where I live, and this guy walked by and he said something. So I thought he was talking about my Steelers jacket I had on, So I just gave him a nod, whatever, went to where I was going. But on my way back, I was coming back and I seen him again. And then I heard what he said. He was like, "Oh, nigger." And I was like, "What the fuck?" But he was like 85 years old. You know what I mean? So I just allowed him. I was like, fuck that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to fucking stand there and curse off an 85-year-old man. But at the end of the day, I was like, yo, you see, the thing is, we still fucking, it's still around, man. You know what I mean? It's still around. So I can understand why certain generations don't like to hear the word. And I can also understand that the younger generation is trying to use the word not as a negative term. But at the end of the day, I think it just needs to go. Like, all those negative terms, they just need to go. Like, all of them.
Yeah, cancel that shit.
Exactly.
They're not trying to say it though. They're not trying to turn it into a positive term.
Oh man,
they're trying to say it because they're showing they have balls to say it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they're saying. They're not trying to turn it into a positive term. That is no.
And at the end of the day, there's no way, even if we're saying it to each other, it's just not a positive word.
Well, what would you do if you woke up in the morning and you saw a mass movement and you saw 50 cents and like everybody going on the TV and made a huge commercial? I vow never to use that word again. I vow to never. Those commercials they do where they hold a whole bunch of celebrities saying that I'm doing something about it. I'm doing something about it. Well, what would you think if that happened one day and about 100 celebrities went on TV and said, "I'm never using the word again"?
Goosebumps.
LDG,
would that move you?
If I were to wake up and see that, I would go back to sleep because I would think I'm in a dream. That I just saw a collection of rappers do something like that. Like, wait, no, I must be.
Well,
I must be asleep. Hang on.
That is correct.
That's where it's going to spark from, though. Something like that did happen. It would be moving.
Listen, I'm a 48-year-old Southern man. Okay, my mouth should be the first person on this panel to even think about saying it. I'm in the South, but because of the way I was raised, because the way I was raised, I will not say it, and I will not sing it. I don't even give the word the breath of existence. You know, and you know, and I
That's why I
honestly
said you're
believe.
righteous, JJ.
Thank you.
JJ, I appreciate you jumping in on that, but I think the point I was trying to make was people who do say it need to say that, not the people who don't say it in the first place.
No.
Hey, Anzo, I think you're gonna understand this, Anzo.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think about this, Anzo? How do you feel Tobias Well would respond to this panel? Like him hearing this.
he would say it. He'd be like
let's
Negroes.
just say you brought on whose country that's kind of popular right now? Keith Urban. Bring on Keith Urban. Have him talk about the N-word. He'll be like, "Oh my God, I'm getting out of here." And I love me some Keith Urban, man. I love Keith Urban, man, but he ain't gonna ever preach like that, dude.
That's what I'm talking. Comedians do it. The celebrities. That's what I'm talking about. If we had some kind of movement like that, that might be a good step in the right direction.
You know what's funny though, and God, I hate Oprah, but she did try to start that movement. She did try to start the movement to ban the N-word. Her, Tyler Perry, all those guys, they try, and it just got no traction.
Well, needs to be big.
It needs to be someone else that's not Oprah. That's why it didn't work.
Oh yeah. If it was someone like maybe Tyra Banks, it probably would have had big traction. But Oprah, is it weird to say that a lot of black people don't like Oprah? Is it weird?
No, it's not. It's not weird.
No, it's not weird. Like Oprah's
like to me. To be honest, Oprah's a clown. Oprah's just a clown. Like that one lady who was talking about Kobe Bryant's death, you know, and that whole rape situation to his best friend, 2 days after he died, and she was surprised she was getting death threats.
Gail.
She hammed up that Leaving Neverland documentary too. Like those guys, she had them on the show. And every person in that crowd was like a therapist and a psychiatrist. And I'm like, so you believe these humans? Even though before she was defending Michael. And I'm like, there's a lot of backstepping humans. That's the shit I don't like. You know, if you're going to be one way, then be that way, you know?
No.
Absolutely.
All about this, man. When this becomes it, forget about friendship and morals at times, man.
Oh yeah, I know. Humans, most of them, they love their money and they will turn on your ass for a second if you put the right price. That's why when I was a kid, when I saw the horror movie Wishmaster, then he's like, everybody wants something. I love that part. And I was like, he is absolutely right. Like you think about all these humans, I would never do that. I would you put the right dollar sign, or you can give them something they want, they will watch what they do to each other.
All right, Terrence,
absolutely.
I said that the other day. I said even I have something I would sell my soul for, but I only have one thing I would do it for.
Terrence, I'll give you $1,000 if you stop saying humans forever.
That shit is not going to happen.
Humans, man.
Terrence was the one that said he would do movies for free. Like he don't care about the funds or money and things. So there's not amount of money that you can offer.
It'll change the world.
That sucks. Like I can't buy Terrence, man. All right, you might be the Black Superman. You might be Black Superman.
No.
Let me say this though. Look,
their price, even Terrence, I bet. But it's look, it's a very high price, and it has nothing to do with money.
Okay, now I need to explain this because look, so money has its use on this planet because humans have deemed it important. I have some of it. I could have even more if I cared about it more. But at the same time, if a human comes to me and this person's like, Terrence, you name your price and this and that, they've already fucked up before they started. Because anyone that knows the basic principles about me, it's not so much that, you can get me with the price as much as it is, can you offer me something that I want that's not money?
Yep. Thank you. Exactly what I just said.
But there are only specific things, and most of them won't know, and they will say the wrong things, and you get nothing. So that will happen 99% of the time. Whatever they're going to offer me is nowhere near what I want. It will be what they think that I want.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And they will base that off of everyone else that they've interacted with. They will also couple that with me being a man and all these typical things.
Yep.
And I'm just like, you can't do that. I'm like, there's a difference between I like this and when you're telling me I can get you anything. I'm like, can you? Because I don't think you can get the shit that Terrence wants. I highly fucking doubt that.
Absolutely. And now, since we were on like the racist topic and stuff like that, we're going to get into another topic. Yvette, you might not want to watch this part of the show, but yeah, yes, because we had a little discussion about it yesterday.
This should be good. This should be good. What is it?
Well, it's about the thing with Meghan and the Queen. So I'm going to show a little clip that I'm going to show a little clip of the stuff that she talked about that I could find online. I didn't really feel like searching up like the whole thing, but I have this little interview here. It's about a minute. We'll watch it and then get you guys' opinions on it.
I mean, that's the sad irony of the last 4 years is I've advocated for so long for women to use their voice. And then I was silent.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
Conversation. Insecurity. It's not going to be given a title. And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
There's a conversation with you?
With Harry.
About how dark your baby is going to be?
Potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
Ooh. And you're not going to tell me who had the conversation?
So we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security. He's not going to be given a title. And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was a very clear and real and frightening, constant thought. Not only was I not being protected, but that they were willing to lie to protect other members of the family, but they weren't willing to tell the truth to protect me and my husband.
Okay, so those are the things that hold on. Those are the things that I found. Those are the things that I found, right? Now, you guys can go ahead and discuss whether you believe them or not, or what you think. I know LDG is ready to jump on it, so you can start it off if you want to.
I need context, brother. I need context on this. Is this book? This is after their what do you call it? Abduction. They released their name. They're no longer.
This interview was like 2 days ago.
Okay, so I don't know. I feel like WandaVision right now. I feel like I'm missing something critical. They're leaving something out because if they abducted, or what's the word I'm trying to say? Abdicated. If they abdicated, right? Mm-hmm. Then it makes sense. Half the stuff they said. You know what I mean? You're not going to get a title. You abdicated. You're not part of the royal family. And I could get that. I could understand that.
She was told that before they left.
Before.
Well, that's why that was my first question.
Okay,
is this related to
everything that I was why they left, supposedly.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. That's some more. Okay. Go ahead, guys. I just wanted to clarify that while I think about it.
Yeah, no problem. What do you think, Roberto?
Whew. Not surprised one bit. Not surprised one bit. Like,
do you believe her?
Said, do I believe her? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. How many blacks been up in that royal house?
I believe her too.
If maybe, I don't know if I could say word for word because there's two sides to every story.
Exactly.
But I'm not shocked. Like, I don't contemplate. Could it possibly be? No, I think it's probably more severe than she's actually letting off because she doesn't want to end up like Diana.
All I'm saying is there's two sides to a story. How was that question asked about the color of the skin? Because let's be honest, guys, it's a question, right? Be it racist or whatever, that's how you're interpreting it. But it could be an honest question. Well, how dark the baby's gonna be? Like, that happened in my dad's town. A woman had a baby. Both parents were white. The baby came out black. And they found out later on that she had a black ancestry. No, she had a black ancestry.
Okay.
They did the DNA test, and he was the father. But it's just like shit happens, right? Explain that one, But it's an honest question. It's like,
well,
if my wife was mulatto or black, and I'm like, having a conversation between couples. Is it going to be dark like your grandfather? Is it going to be dark like your dad? Is it going to be dark like
You see,
it's a conversation. It all depends of interpretation.
I didn't have this conversation with my wife.
No, you're the perfect example.
I know
not
my
everybody
kid is going to be
darker,
either dark or light.
Exactly.
It's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
When you get into it, it's obvious.
And what does it matter how dark they are or how light they are? What does that matter?
But do you think he went with her because she's high yellow? Because if she was darker, the chances are the kid's going to be darker.
But I get the scrutiny, right? Because of the history and the position of the person who probably asked the question, right? Because they're talking it was the queen that asked the question. That's what they're saying, right? So
they never implied the queen. Let me be fair with that.
I don't think she implied whoever said it.
They always said it was someone else. Yeah, it was not. It was not the queen.
Even if it was her, they were going to say someone else. But obviously, they weren't going to name names.
They'll never throw the queen out.
All right, so if you clarify this, right? If you think your kid has a chance of growing up autistic or having another genetic characteristic. Right. You're going to discuss it because that needs to be discussed. How the kid is going to be raised. What do we need to prepare? Or even health-related topics, or a number of different topics. And you know what? Skin is going to, even though it's not high on the priority. Like I'd rather know if my kid is going to be, I can't remember that one that you got to be careful of. But if they're gonna be born with some kind of huge disability, is more priority than if my kid's gonna be tan, white, dark, yellow, purple, green. Okay, maybe not well, if they're gonna be purple and green, that I want to know about that. That's serious. But you know what I mean? Will it be a question? Yeah. Is it racist? Don't know. We don't have the context. We don't know who said it. We don't know what the hell. So I can't really say anything about that. But the whole is not going to get a title. You're not getting security. Listen, even our presidents, after they leave, get security. If you're even related to the royal family, you should get security. So that, I don't know what the hell that is about. They should obviously get security. They know secrets. They know things. But the racist part of it, I don't know. Was she over exaggerating? My instinct is telling me she was. For the television purposes, it looked like she might have been laying it on there a little thicker than it needed to be. And then she's on Oprah, for God's sake. So
hold on, let MSK go. Go ahead.
My thing is that it happens with everything. Even when I just watched that, everything gets diverged into. Because I really think this is what people want you to do, and I've said this like 1,000 times. What people took out of that, not you guys in particular, but we're talking about what. Racism and all of the bullshit. Like the issue here is that's like the cop out for everything, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vin Diesel was outside. Fast and Furious. It's just like the racism thing seems like it'd be such a cop out for everything. Like there's other problems going on in their household that's not a racist problem. What if they're just like pieces of shit because they're pieces of shit? And that guy is just an asshole who won't provide his darker colored son. Let's be honest here. The person that lady's talking about might not even care about the race thing. He might not just like her and is like, oh, I'm not going to give her son protection. It wouldn't matter if he's black or white, honestly. It really wouldn't matter. He doesn't like her for some previous reason. I don't know. But I think people want you to divert away from an actual problem and just focus on racism. Because if we keep chalking it up to things like that, we're not fixing anything.
I think it's only because she's the first.
Also true.
Because
Yeah.
if there was others, then we'd know it's blatantly racism or it's just coincidence. But because she's the first, I think that's why you're going to divert that way.
Correct.
I just don't like ever diverting from a problem and going, oh, it's racist. That's the only reason. That's gonna fix nothing.
I'm not like that either. You know, I'll pulls me over. I don't say it's because I'm black.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you know it's just too easy. It's like a cop out.
I'll use that when the cops get me, so I'm good.
No, but I know if I use that, I'm gonna be there an hour and a half. You know.
And sometimes legit we do something wrong, you know what I mean, and we get stopped over. It just happens, you know. One time I was on my freaking phone and I wasn't paying attention, crossed the street on a red light, these two cops came up to me on a horse.
Imagine that's what the Queen wanted, Americans to talk about the racist part and not anything else that's probably going on wrong. Now, to be fair, I have not really checked out too much, but the last thing I heard about this family was like they had a kid back in like maybe 2011, 2009. That's the last thing I care. I thought Queen Elizabeth was dead. Like, she's still alive. Holy shit, this lady's immortal. This lady's been alive.
So is her husband too.
Dude, this lady has been alive since I was born. Is she immortal? That might be Agatha. They might actually have a real life Agatha in their freaking society. Holy shit. But
so Anzo, what's the question, man?
Oh, just do you think she's lying? What do you think about the situation? Have you been following up on it? Because I really didn't follow up on it. It's just something I seen and I watched a bit of it and I talked about it a bit. But I figure let's talk about it here, see what people think.
Honestly, I don't know much about it. I don't follow the royal family, and frankly, I don't care. But the little bit that I've been seeing is that there seemed to be some kind of issue with the child coming out a certain color and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, okay, well, the fact that these humans went on to Oprah, which is a human that I do not trust at all because she has proven to be a liar. So I don't. She tends to support certain individuals for certain reasons, and then you have the backstepping stuff. So there's that. But then in terms of them, I don't know if that particular female is lying, because it kind of goes back to what I said earlier and so many other times for different reasons that, humans, they have all these emotions. And sometimes it could be that they were not wronged or treated unfairly, but how they look at a situation or how they look at what was said to them, they can take it to heart in the wrong way. There's so many different ways that you can take what a person says. Like, I mean, I found myself saying stuff to certain humans, and I'm like, you got that from what I said? What the fuck is wrong with you, human? Okay, let me explain it this way then. But a lot of the times it can be too late. So for all we know, maybe the way she's explaining it, it didn't happen that way, or maybe it did. My position is, aside from me not caring, is I don't know all the pieces and the context. So for me, it would be unfair for me to say that it's one way or the other. So what I think is that it could be anything in regards to she's maybe telling the truth, maybe she's not. I don't know. I don't know enough about the situation, and I was not there. But if that is the case, that, they were, and that particular female was mistreated, and this whole thing about the skin being too dark and all this stuff, if there's any sort of racist thing going on there, then to me, that's unfortunate that, she and her man had to deal with that. But, again, I just don't know, Anzo. That's just me being honest.
No, and I understand that. And I don't think we'll ever really know. But would you put it past it?
No. Like,
well, this is the thing, man. It's like usually when someone's telling you something, they're telling you a version of events that happen from their perspective. So from her perspective, it might have been racist. What if someone was telling her that from a perspective of maybe outsiders will see it a certain way, and maybe it wasn't racist intentionally, but it was technically racist in a way that it was racist, like in terms of like maybe it being concerning, because everyone only gives you their version of the events, and their version of the events sometimes just aren't true. Well, or misconstrued. What's the word?
Well, I mean, but to that point though, like,
yeah.
Jaded.
But if I apply that to myself, right? Because I've had humans say you have to look at how the person receives the things that you say, and I'm just like, if I were to do that, I probably would have walked in front of a bus a long fucking time ago, because there's too many examples of, humans getting mad at what I said, and then they're like, "You're attacking me," or "Stop disrespecting me," and I'm like, how did I disrespect you, human? And then they go into all this stuff. So that's not always 100% either. It can sometimes be difficult to assess without the entire context. And then again, because she's on TV, you don't know like what her agenda might be. I mean, it could be honesty, it could be attention, it could be so many things. But if it turned out to be like this whole racist thing, Anzo and everybody, I wouldn't be surprised by that. It's not like, we say if we were to get some more stuff and that turns out to be the case, I'm not going to be shocked at all. It just would be, that's unfortunate that, we're in 2021 and you still have racist humans walking around. I'm like, I don't know what it is with these creatures, but they always got to find reasons to fight each other instead of banding together to make each other better. This shit is pathetic at this point, if that's the case.
Absolutely.
JoJo's man said Megan got caught up in a fantasy. What was she expecting? Just a quick check on the history of the royals would have stopped her from getting involved in that regime in the first place.
I was going to say
she wasn't dating the royals; she was dating the guy.
Exactly. Right. You can't. Like, people change, things change, right? You know what I mean? So it's possible that it's not the same. But if she is telling the truth, then we're realizing that yes, nothing has really changed. You know what I mean? And one thing you have to also gotta understand is older generations are usually set in their ways. You know what I mean? They're set in their ways. They lived a certain way, and that's how their thinking is.
Freaking boomers.
Older black men, older black women, older white men, older white women. They're set in their ways. So
Anzo, respect to what you said. I agree 100%, Anzo. So respect for saying that.
Thank you.
But like even with my parents, them being, older black man, my dad, mother, older black woman, they're in their 60s. They have said to me like many times, to myself and my brother and my sister at one point when she was around, but like, they would say stuff like, we grew up with this and this is wrong and we're set in our ways, and you have to listen to us, and they kind of dismiss everything that we say because to them it has no validity. It's like you either, what the fuck, LDG? Pulling some Mephisto shit, like, so.
What the hell?
Yeah, like, hold on, that shit threw me off. So they're like basically dismissing the stuff we say, like it has no validity to it, because as you said, Anzo, they already went through their experiences, they're stuck in their way, but at the same time, every person has a choice of how they conduct themselves.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what they grew up around and who taught them, you can always decide to reprogram yourself, but you would have to feel like there's a need for that. Because if you don't, then like you said, Anzo, they're going to stay in their ways. Like, no, this is what it is. This is what it always will be to some degree. I am right. You are wrong. You're this generation and that shit is trash. And you don't know, and they'll go about it that way. And I'm like, you know what? A part of me understands and, respects that. But at the same time, I'm like, a person that acquires wisdom, if you do not entertain all the areas, I consider you to be a fool to some degree.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. At the end of the day, people have to change, bro. What were you gonna say, Gaishka?
No, I'm saying that also you have to take the point of view of Harry himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
He took the decision to step back, and a lot of that has to do with what happened with his mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
remember all the limelight and stuff like that. That's what killed her at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
She got into that accident, and not only that, there was a actually article where he found out that paparazzis were taking pictures while her mom was screaming in that car for help.
Mm.
And they were taking
that's
pictures.
a damn shame, Guy Scar. Like, what?
Yeah, exactly. So this kid's scarred with all that shit and all this royal family and everything that. So for him stepping out of it, I respect that. It's his decision. But what do you want? There's too many holes out there of the story. Is it publicity? Is it not publicity? Is there truth? There has to be some truth. It hasn't been overplayed. I think, yeah, because she's an amazing actress. So that if I'm saying that she's doing this, to glorify what was said, possibly, we'll never know, right? Until we sit the people that had that conversation down and hear it. But it's a family business. It's family affairs. And the fact that she went out in public and brought this up to air after both of them taking the decision to step back.
Excuse me.
Well, I get it and I don't get it, but you know what? What stays behind closed when it's family stuff, sometimes it just be handled. And
they did say in that video, and I cut it out, but I always like to be real. They were paid $7 million for that interview.
$7 million, Anzo.
That the credibility completely drops after hearing that. It's television.
I do mine for
right?
free.
It's prepared. It's obviously skewed not from her perspective, but her perspective turned into what people want to see, because that's what it's all about on TV. Now, if she would have went on some low $1 million, that's crazy for a conversation.
That's almost 8 million. Do you know how much money that is?
Yeah, I only asked Anzo for 1 million to be on tonight. Okay, I mean $7 million. Are you kidding me? I mean, geez Louise. But if she would have went on some other like low reporter, like, you know what I mean, some other reporting agency where she wasn't paid as much, and not to mention there's Oprah. Maybe that would have changed the credibility, but that destroys her credibility right now.
I won't say it destroys the credibility. I won't say that. It just puts a lot of things in question. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day,
we just finished saying how people chase money all the time. So how does that just ruin her credibility now when she sees money? Do it with ABC for $3 million.
Because
do it with Oprah for $7.
Forget ABC, CBC.
Let me take that 7, so everything I say looks like it's full of shit.
It's just crazy, like, because I mean,
this world is so fucking judgmental, man. It's ridiculous.
I would say CBC, man.
I mean,
someone like that, Roberto, doesn't need to go on Oprah to make $7 million.
She also probably doesn't need $7 million.
Maybe you and me would be more forgiving, but she does not need Oprah for $7 million.
For me, LDG, it's just too easy to say that. I don't know who's paying her bills. I don't know how she generates an income. All I know is she took off from the royal family. They don't want nothing to
cut her off
officially.
Officially.
Yeah,
they were cut off from
officially. Yeah, officially.
How many events?
We don't know how she was cut off
and get paid
in reality.
Millions of dollars to go to these events. No one shuns or scars whatever he's there for.
Okay, like
because she's calling somebody out now. She's doing it for the money. She's lying because of the fame. It's too easy.
It's like, okay, when it comes to these interviews, right? Like they're like, okay, we want you to come on here and talk about your experience. For me, it's either I want to come on and do the interview or not. If I don't want to come on, there's no amount of money that you can get me to come on. But if I'm going to come on and they're going to pay me whatever, then that's fine, because I've already agreed to come on. But like, so my motivation would not be the money. I cannot speak for her and why she did it and whatever else. I'm not mad at her for, you know, getting the money because money is useful. Even I understand that and I don't care about it. So to me, it's just more of, regardless of her talking to Oprah or the money, is she telling the truth? Is what,
But
you
you know
know.
what? At the same time, Terrence, does anybody know how much Barbara Walters was paying to interview high celebrities like Oprah?
Michael Jackson.
Does anybody know what
Mhm.
these high profile interviewers pay people to interview these high profile people? They just don't randomly walk into a publishing house, some guy who does the local paper in his block and says, "Hey, I'm going to give you a blockbuster article." It doesn't work that way.
Mhm.
You know, I'm sure her people are screening who she's going to do her interview with. And if you do it with
Absolutely.
Oprah just has to like a book and that guy's a billionaire. So
Absolutely.
obviously
that
you want
is
to touch
very
that
true.
route, you know? You want to touch the pipeline.
Look what she did with Dr.
Yeah.
Phil, right? He was
She
a
does
guest.
it with everybody that she touches. So,
Dr.
you know,
Phil and
shame on
Dr.
her.
Oz.
All of them, Anzo.
Yeah. Go
Shame
ahead,
on
Roberto.
her if she's lying. But we can't discredit her because she took the money and it's Oprah.
I agree.
You know, it's
right. Of course. Yeah. That's why I was saying, like, you know, Roberto, like, you know, I'm not I wasn't trying to say that she's wrong or that she's right. You know, I just was saying I don't know. You know, Anzo said that it brings certain things into question. And, you know, I feel like depending on the scenarios, I'm always gonna have questions anyway. Like that could have been
Exactly. Mhm.
someone else that wasn't Oprah, and it could have been less money or no money, and I still would wonder, why is she doing this on TV? Why now? You know, I would have
She could
a
wrote a
lot of
book.
questions naturally. You know, for me being who I am, I would naturally just, you know, have a lot of questions.
Right.
Mhm. I agree. Yeah. What's that for?
The comment you just had up a second ago.
Oh, which one? This one?
No, the last one you had. Yeah.
Oh,
that one.
Dr. Oz is a fraud. Is he?
Damn.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
watch him. So
I
is he?
think so.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know? I'm an
He's
IT
biased,
tech guy.
man.
And do you know how many
What are
clients
you,
I had? How many
psychologist or
people I had?
doctor?
Sorry, go
He
ahead.
does a freaking. He does the freaking like lose your weight in 90 days and crap and all
He does
that
too
stuff.
much.
Just too good to be true freaking
Exactly.
solutions. And then I can't tell you how many people I've getting called. Like you think an IT guy would just get people calling me about their computers breaking? No, I get a lot of phone calls about spam. And one of the number one spams that I've had to help people unsubscribe from because they only wanted to purchase one thing and they got stuck into a monthly contract was Dr. Oz.
Really?
Damn.
Yes. I can count like I have more. I have less fingers than how many times I've had to help people unsubscribe from Dr. Oz.
Wow.
But if you subscribe to me, I'll make you rich.
Where you at? Where you
$7
at?
million rich? Or?
And I can
MS
provide you hot ladies too, and I can get you sex. There you go. That's why you get the Simpson.
And I'm going to get about 10 phone calls next month. Actually, unsubscribe for MSK. I'm stuck in this monthly thing. I got no girls.
MSK
My bed's
smiling
still
in the
empty.
background, like, "Yep, thanks for coming by."
We're like one of those robes they used to wear back in like Roman shit. It's all white.
Oh shit. Yeah, so it's 2 hours, guys. We hit 2 hour mark. We can close it up here. It was a great show, man. I do appreciate all you guys that
great.
came in.
Dislike, unsub, leave a hate comment. Is that how you say it right?
Yeah, that's exactly.
You know what
Roberto,
though? I
did you
gotta
take
say,
Yeah,
you
go
know,
ahead.
JJ, like I've been paying attention to JJ, and I feel like he's always, you know, calculating everything. It just looks like he's just studying something very important, you know, and he's like waiting to strike.
No, I pay attention.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I could tell, JJ. I was like, what is JJ?
Well, I would have said a lot more tonight, but every one of y'all hit on subjects that I felt exactly the same about, and
we always want your opinion, though, bro.
No, I understand that. But I don't see the point of repeating it. You know, all these subjects, even starting off, you know, Roberto was talking about music and stuff. I was going to say earlier on, I do the same thing. I just go get in my car, plug my phone in. I call it music therapy. There's a lot of different ways. And when I said earlier about the N word, I won't say it. I won't sing it. There's no point in it. It shouldn't exist. And I've said this a lot of times. It's 2021. We as a people should be a lot more farther along than what we are now. We shouldn't be fighting with one another. We should all be getting along and trying to make this world better, so we can go and start progressing into the future, not keep rolling around in the mistakes of our past.
Absolutely.
JJ,
the mistakes of our past is who makes us who we are.
Do we have like a little Arsenio moment now? You know, those things that make you go,
So JJ, you know, maybe JJ Jedi might be more suited because, you know, I feel like you just dropped some Jedi knowledge, you know.
When I say I pay attention to everything. I may not know what's going on, like this Meghan Markle bullshit. Personally, I'm not a political person, so that includes the royal family. I don't give a shit. But what Onzo showed us are just a couple of lines out of an entire conversation. Could have been taken out of context. So until I see fully what was said, it can only I make a judgment on it. But even then, it's not my place to judge.
I agree.
Right. It's just interesting to me, JJ, because I feel like you have the presence of a Sith, but then your mind is like a Jedi.
Is that a gray Jedi we hear?
Oh, shit, no. Don't get Phantom Zone for that one, guys.
No.
So can I give you my moment?
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Yes, please. It would be my honor.
Why is it only Americans are Afro-Americans?
Oh my God, I was just having that discussion too. And it's funny because when we were talking about what we were talking about, I wanted to bring it up and like, you know,
I was holding on to that for a while. I was like, today, we're not Canadian. We're not Afro-Canadians. There's no Italian Americans. You're American, you're Canadian, you're Jamaican. Why the Afro?
That's something I tell when I'm discussing with my wife. She goes, "Well, you're Spanish." I'm like, "No, I'm Canadian." Goes, yeah, but your parents came from Spain and you know from the best. And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm Canadian." You know,
that's right.
You're
not Spanish.
You're not Spanish Canadian.
I'm not Spanish Canadian. I'm Canadian.
There's a huge misuse no matter where you go. I say the same thing about this whole misconcept of people calling the differences between a geek and a nerd. And how there's actually a difference, but it seems like they're all calling everybody nerds. I'm like, no, nerds. There's an actual nerd and there's an actual geek. A nerd can be a geek, but a geek can't be a nerd.
Twisted, yo.
Absolutely.
Nerds have the grades.
Don't get that shit twisted. Ain't no nerd. I'm a geek, yo.
Yeah, but you know, I just want you to know, JJ, that I appreciate your conversation. So, you know, if you were to talk for like 10 hours, I would definitely be listening.
10 hours? Good luck on that one.
You know what? As of late, I do good to do 3 hours without losing my voice.
You know? But
Anzo doesn't even sleep for 10 hours.
I'm humbled, Terrence. I greatly appreciate that. I'm completely humbled. Thank you.
But on the point to Roberto said, it's like, I find, why is it so bad to say the black guy or the black person instead of, the African American in there? Now, I know LDG said he don't like to use color, and I get that. I understand
I'm with LDG on that one too. Yeah.
And I get
any
that.
Color. Any color. If someone calls me white guy, I get pissed off.
And you know what? I get that. But like Roberta said, in the society we have, it's not a perfect world, and this is how it's done. And instead of saying, well, look at the African American, why not just say, look at the black guy? You know what I mean? Because
I
I am not
always
from
say that,
Africa.
Anzo. Look at the black guy.
No, I can
No, you
see
say
that.
look
Now,
at the
after we
human,
talked
Terrence.
about,
Come on.
Yeah, look at the human.
we talked about
Yeah,
that
but
last
I mean,
night.
like,
and-
you know, the humans, they got the colors and stuff.
All right,
but
guys. Enzo,
my thing is that
is
Yes.
just trying to get ad revenue from YouTube, so we have another 2-hour conversation about that. That's what he's trying to do.
it's like, cause, I mean, let's be honest. Like the African American and Afro American, that's so PC. You know, that's what they want us to do. That's another way of these humans in these powerful positions. Like, we want everyone to speak and walk and behave this way. If you do anything else, you're considered to be bad, disrespectful, racist, sexist, and all these things that they have written down in their golden fancy notebooks. That's what the humans do, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But
so that's maybe what we should say. We should go, excuse me, human.
Exactly.
Well, no, because imagine
He's got the right idea.
Imagine if like a girl is attacked and the police ask her, you know, which guy attacked you? She's like, this black guy did it, because she doesn't know his name. I think it all goes down to in like the situation.
You say that
right
after you're asked the question. Can you please describe the person who attacked you?
Yeah.
If you describe by skin color, hey, that's what they do.
But
Right.
you're gonna have those humans that get mad, like, "Oh, she said black guy." I'm like, well, was he? Is he a black
Is it-
guy?
right.
Like, well, yeah,
Right,
but
because
I'm
it's
like,
like-
then what's the
Yeah,
problem?
but it was like nighttime. I'm like, what?
No, but what we're saying is they'll probably say, "Oh no, the African American guy," instead of just saying the fucking black guy. You know what I mean? Like, just say the black guy. We are black people. I'm not offended if someone says, "Oh, look at the black guy over there." Now, if someone says, "Look," because even my friend did that when we were younger. He was like, "Oh, African Canadian." And I was like, yeah.
African Canadian.
That's how you reacted. African Canadian. What the fuck is
That's
that?
exactly what I said. I said African Canadian. So I'm not African, bro.
Even on official forums, African American or Caucasian.
Right.
They just can't say white and black.
Exactly.
I don't understand that.
Right,
Like,
right.
who fucking did that?
All right, so
Michael
LDG,
Jackson
where
said,
were
"It
you
doesn't
last
matter."
night? Yeah, I was over on Anzo's channel. Who's Anzo? Oh, that black guy's channel. No, no.
But we know Anzo's
Why is there a white Anzo?
There's 4 black guys on the channel. They all on the panel. They all have channels. So yeah, could you please narrow it down a little bit?
I'll say this: my mom said my dad was white, so I'm one of everybody. You know, I'm a piece of everybody, so I'm good. So I don't know about you guys, but hey, that's what happens, right? Anzo, I'm pretty sure your dad was like part white too. So you know, no,
well, no, but
That would be news to me.
What?
Oh shit! Where'd you get that from?
There's white people in my family.
No,
You
because
know what I mean?
remember, like if you talk a certain way as a black person, they're like, "Oh my god, like whitewash." It's like I just like to talk like a human being. I don't. There's not a terminology for it. You just talk. You know, now if you're talking like.
That's one of the comments
white,
Flash
man.
put. Yeah, that's
I
one
talk
of the
white?
Are you from Massachusetts or?
Oh,
That's a stereotyping. I'm joking.
No,
I'm joking.
My family's from Massachusetts.
I am from California, and we don't talk about the East Coast. When you live in California, people just think you're on top of the world, and that's just a lifestyle here.
Hey, bro.
I live in
I was just
California.
being ignorant, right?
Oh no, you're good, man.
Because we were in telemarketing. Anzo could tell you we get that all the time. You talk white.
Yes.
I didn't know that was possible.
Yes.
I didn't know it was possible to talk like proper English.
Exactly.
Wait, MSK. You're in Cali too?
Yeah.
I might be able to see you just walking down the street one of these days. You
Oh
never know.
shit! You might be outside right now. He might be outside.
Exactly.
The way he said that, the way he said that, man, you better be watching your back, man. You're like,
If someone just blurts out, "Hey, human," it might be.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be funny if you hear a knocking on the door right now. Boom.
No,
Might start going around.
One of the guys we know, a fellow streamer that some of us watch, literally lives blocks away from him.
Really?
I'm like, what the hell? Really?
Hey, I'll tell you, it's a small world we live in. There could be celebrities watching right now. We wouldn't know.
Hey, MSK, you have the right to feel the way you do, because me and LDG, we're in Florida.
You're in Florida, dude.
We're in America's graveyard.
You're in freedom, technically. You're in freedom because you guys don't abide by. You guys don't abide by the whole. Florida didn't abide by any COVID rules, dude. People were going out.
They did. They do. No. Yes, it's the walking effing dead around here. I'm afraid to go out my front door, dude. Well, minus the zombies, like but we're open for business though. You can go outside and get in 5 traffic jams going to the store. Disney's open, Universal's open. I think the only other one that isn't open is SeaWorld.
Oh, fucking Shamu, right? Fuck him. He can't have fun.
No. Hey, SeaWorld
He's been there for a long time now, but
I just want to say something real quick about this comment. Thank you for that, Jojo, man. I do appreciate it. You know what I mean? We're just trying to keep it real, man. Keep it off our chests, and you know how we do it, man. We do all kinds of comic book and stuff and all the platforms, but I feel sometimes we need to do a show like this,
Sometimes
man.
you gotta have the political talks because, like, you know, people keep saying you can't talk about it. Those are the same people that don't want you to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Well, that's why
It's just 4 white guys and 4 black guys having fun.
We're promoting interracial diversity on this channel right now.
Absolutely.
That's what I told. Yeah, because this I was gonna slide down some food because I work at a fast food place, so I slid something down, and the white girl touched my hand, and she said, "You touched my hand." I was like, "Hey, we're promoting interracial relationships over here." I'm just saying.
Smooth.
Everyone was just like straight up laughing. I was like, "What?" I'm like, "You gotta just break the ice with people. Just make them laugh." A key way for all you nerds out there that are watch this later on, probably don't like your phones. The key way to a girl's heart is to make her laugh.
Music, music, man.
That helps. But I'll tell you how to do it.
That's one of the things.
Pay attention and listen. I told you that.
What? Oh my God.
Pay attention and listen.
Asking for too much now, JJ.
That was a good one. That was a real good one, JJ.
Oh my
God. You know, Anzo, I had a human get mad at me because, you know, I was talking to this human and calling the human a human, and this human was just like, "Who the fuck do you think you are? Are you some kind of god or something? Fuck you too." And I was like, "Human, you need to calm down. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not a human."
Oh my God.
Did he say he's not a human?
I personally think Terrence needs a church. I think Terrence should just get a church. That's what you need. We need to pray to the Church of Terrence. That's all we need to start doing.
Hey, I feel like if I started that, you would have certain humans just they'd show up with their pitchforks like, "He's trying to ruin us and kill us all." I'm like, you need to listen to the first sermon. It's talking about peace. Like, you gotta stop that.
Have the whole freaking plaque.
Cancel culture will find its way.
Like the plaque is not even the freaking cross is not a cross. It's just a Superman statue. Oh my
God! Why is he calling us humans? I'm offended by him calling me human.
Oh my God!
You know what?
That human was mad as hell, man. Like, I was like, he is legitimately upset that I called him a human. He's like, "I have a fucking name." I was like, "Oh, okay." Like,
what's your name, human? Well, you know what you could do, Terrence, as a plan B. You know what another good term you could use is, if someone as a joke besides human, earthling. Whatever you say, earthling. Well, there you go, right?
You know, at some point I played around with the earthling and the mortal, but like the human thing came when I was in high school, because it was at that point that, you know, I had got tired of just the silliness from a lot of humans, and I was actually going to get into a fight. You know, you're talking about, you know, I fucking took the jacket and the shirt off, and I was like, "Come on, human," and like, I was ready to just fuck these guys up. So that's how that started. It came from a fucked up situation.
Dude, this guy was gonna go Super Saiyan, like that black guy that was Super Saiyan those years ago.
I can look back on it and laugh, because it does sound like a movie scene. But, you know, in that moment, like you're talking about that,
right? Dude, he was gonna go Super Saiyan on these guys.
Hey, I went. I mean, I went there, and it just I was tired of that shit, because, you know, they're like, "We're still gonna mess with Terrence," and I'm just like, these motherfucking humans didn't skip some chapters. I'm like, you picked the wrong Terrence. You picked the Terrence now that's, you know, stronger and knows martial arts. I'm like, you should have come a couple years ago trying to pull this shit. So I was just like, you try something else, I'm gonna fuck you up, and then after that, You know, they ran away and they didn't mess with me again. And there was like a respect that was established. I was like, I had to go through all this movie shit to get y'all to respect me. I had to turn this into a fucking movie scene when all you had to do was respect me. I didn't do nothing to no one, and these humans were just bothering me. I'm like, chill the fuck out. It ain't that serious.
And Terrence can't be calling anybody. Hold on, Terrence can't be calling anybody Earthlings because he'll be incriminating himself. Because we all know he's from a different planet, bro.
I could totally see freaking Terrence going all freaking.
Enzo, what happened to you? Your Canadian internet took over.
It's a smack.
Okay. You're giving a little too much credit. No, remember that black guy that tried going Super Saiyan like some years ago. His video became like really, really famous, right? So someone in the comment section was like, "Did he go Ultra Instinct by now? Because it's been years, bro." You factor in if you didn't go past Super Saiyan 1.
It's funny. It's funny that you say that because there was a point where I had my hair straightened and it was, dyed blonde and it had like a golden kind of effect. And with my physique, you had these humans calling me the Black Super Saiyan, but I was not aware of it to that degree until someone pointed it out. Because to me, I just, did that as just a way to, change up my hair. And I was like, oh, well, I watched Dragon Ball Z. That's a cool compliment. But like when you're actually in those moments and you're upset and all this stuff, you're only thinking about, dealing with the problem, because you're being attacked. It's only later that, I can look back on it and laugh because it's just like, it shouldn't have been that way is the point,
Mm-hmm. And with that being said, guys, we are going to close it down. It was a great show today. I do appreciate all you guys that came in. MSK, thanks for coming. LDG, JJ, Terrence, thanks for coming, man. Do appreciate
tomorrow,
that.
Man. Stream it tomorrow, man. If you want to hop by,
I'll be there.
I'm gonna have some. I'm gonna have an old friend on, so she's gonna come in and talk to me. So we're gonna have some fun. She's gonna freaking roast me for all as a girl I knew from high school. It's like your YouTube channel I've seen has been pretty successful. I was like, huh? How does she? It's small world, right? Mm-hmm. So she's on the East Coast. She is in I think Missouri. I was like, huh? I was like, women just like expect you to know everything. It's like, okay.
Now when you say old friend, is that an old friend or a friend who is old?
Did you smack that ass or did you not smack that ass?
No, girls are disgusting, and we don't have sex with girls on this panel here. We don't do sex.
No. On this panel, we do. I don't know about you.
I really need a bullshit super chat, dude. I need to find one. Too many missed opportunities.
We don't do the sex here.
So I'm gonna let you guys talk about your channels. MSK, you're up, man. Tell the people what the channels are.
Oh, I mean, 1 sec. Let me go last because I'm on my second channel right now.
All right, go ahead, JJ.
Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You find me a little bit of everywhere. You find me on Chris Knight's channel for the weekly wrap up on Sundays. Later on that night, over on Han Star's channel for either Name That Tune or Jackbox Game Night. Monday night on my channel, I do a weekly live stream called Randomness at its Finest. Come by, check it out. It's a random panel, random topic situation. I'm doing one tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come by, check it out. Like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff that goes with it. Thank you. Right here on Bigger Ford Entertainment on Tuesday night for the Chaos List with Onzo, Danny Graham, Chris Knight, LDG Pixels, Guyscar, myself, and sometimes Elihu-Who. Talking about whatever Onzo wants to throw at us and the crowd favorite, the honorable mentions. And then last but not least, you'll find me sometimes Thursday night back over on Chris Knight's channel, The Real Review 3000, for the weekly Rumble, either as a contestant or a combatant, as I like to say, or sometimes he likes to change it up and I come in as a wild card. Last but not least, you can find me on Twitter at Sithlord3827. Sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet, sometimes I don't. The lottery. Come check it out. Thanks for having me on, brother.
No problem. Thank you for coming. Terrence, you were up next.
Yep. Hello, humans. This is Terrence. I'm very honored to be here with all these fine humans on the panel. and they have embraced me. And sometimes humans, they be getting tired of Terrence. They're like, damn it, that fucking Terrence, or they get mad or something. And I feel like even though I am who I am, I feel like once you talk to me, it should be fine. You don't have to like me, but I feel like I'm doing just fine. So I feel like there are a fair number of humans that can speak to my character, which speaking of which, you can find me on T-Virus Terrence, and over there, that is that is my playground where I have so much fun over there, and you just never know what may happen on a Tuesday or a Sunday, and just so many different topics and things that I share with whatever humans want to come on that channel. But it's fun for me just to share and talk about things, and I like to. If I have any sort of interaction with any other YouTubers, I would prefer that, it's like this, it's pleasant and different viewpoints, and we can all respect each other and not try to cancel each other every 20 seconds, like what seems to be picking up momentum. So yeah, I think that we're going to have more interesting conversations. You can find me here as well with Anzo from time to time on this channel, and then Danny's channel, Comic Chat, and I may not always be around, but when I am around, I have a good time, and the company's always amazing.
It's always great to have you on, brother. LDG.
What's going on, guys? LDG Pixels here of LDG Pixels. I can be followed on Twitter at LDG Pixels. Here for your computer needs, tech support, need anything at all, questions, whatnot. Last night, helping somebody fix their computer, which was absolutely not turning on. It took about, an hour and a half or so, but we got him up and running. That was kick butt. So yeah, guys, use me if you have any issues. And on Geeks Enjoy Nerdrotica, where when you go and ask the YouTube bell,
found anything yet? We ain't found shit.
come find me at the waiting room, guys. It's a place to hang out, the stream between the streams. I let you know who streamed, who's streaming, and who's going to stream, and who uploaded, along with good commentary and review on those particular streams. We hang out, open topics, open panels. We also do watch parties. Currently doing Married with Children on Saturday, and next week we'll be doing Z Nation, followed with a few other late-breaking watch parties, depending on what comes out. We'll see what happens. Great show tonight, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. And I popped the link for the backstage pass. If you want to come meet some of us after the show, you're welcome to join us on our offline community chat, guys. Links in the chat.
Didn't we have a 12-hour conversation, LDG?
Last night? Yeah, well, we hung out for a while last night, man. That was awesome.
Yep. See, Guy Scar. Yep. The 60 hours and
12 hours.
You guys remember I did pass out and I was like, I'm done, right? So I don't know how the fuck long you guys stayed in there, but I fucking bounced.
Oh man, we had a blast.
We stayed until 4 a.m. my time. So it was like after you left, Anzo was probably another 3 hours or something like that.
God,
but that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Matrix talk, just a lot of amazing conversation, and I feel like
Terrence,
yes,
he didn't hook you with the Matrix conversation, did he?
oh, absolutely.
We were going back and forth, man.
Oh my God, this man, he can go forever on that shit.
He definitely got me, JJ, and I feel like I'm reasonable. 10 hours is a little bit too much to ask. 9 hours is way more reasonable. I understand you.
Yeah.
I hear you. MSK, you're up next, brother.
Oh, okay. So I am Sorry about that. Oh my God.
What?
Something's in my throat. Something's in my throat. I had to clear my throat. I was like, holy shit.
I thought you said you had a cock.
Did you pull the cock out?
No. What the heck? All right. I'm MSK. I'm MSK, Master of Swag King Entertainment. I make videos 7 days a week, all time, every day. I sometimes make 5 videos a day. Just depends on what I got to talk about. Normally, I focus on my native card game. I'm trying to learn the Pokemon trading card game, which is something I got to get into. I do trailer reactions. We do movie reviews. We have live streams. We have live stream tomorrow, obviously, which is going to be at 8:40 p.m. PST. We just have some fun, We can talk political things too. So everything you guys love about what I already did here is what I do on my main channel. So that's pretty much it, And if you want a good-looking, sexy dude to be in your morning feed on YouTube while you go to work, that's me.
Good job,
Sorry. Good. Roberto, I'm sorry. I was holding it for you, bro. I was holding it for you, but I had to on that one, bro. I had to.
I'll let that one go. That was a good one.
Yeah, man. You can find me at Basco Scenario gaming clips. And before I continue with LDG, thank you for the help yesterday. You got my computer running, bro. Break. I was sweating with that laptop on yesterday's stream. But I appreciate it, brother, man. Great job.
It came down to the last thing, right? Like we tried everything in the kitchen sink to get that computer going, and it was the last thing that did it, and couldn't believe it. It was awesome.
I respect the client confidentiality that he didn't call you out, guys. Respect. That should bring X amount of clients, man.
Exactly. And saying that, like I said in the beginning, you can find us Sundays. We're gonna start having the Falcon Roundtable with Danny. Mondays is the Chaotic Conversation. Then Tuesdays, 9 p.m., the Chaos List. Wednesday, 7 p.m., Rule of 3. And 10 p.m., the O.O.C. So, yeah, guys, subscribe to everybody here. Spread the word if you like the show. And much love and respect to all of you, man.
And LDG, you can tee it up for Roberto.
No, hold on. Let's make it a little different. Now.
And we lost on
Yeah. Listen, you can find me here Wednesday nights with these gentlemen who I look forward to seeing every Wednesday night. MSK, it was nice meeting you, sir.
Yeah.
It was a surprise to see you.
Yeah. If you want to come over tomorrow and just chill and talk, you're more than welcome, man.
I appreciate it. I will get started, people. I will. The day is just when.
Yeah, like him and Gaiskar, they're coming. The train.
Gaiskar's not there yet.
No,
I haven't done my show yet.
Hold that talk, yo. I thought you were up and running, Gaiskar. You were my mentor. You just let me down, brother. Now I'm going to slack more. Wait, the one thing I did want to make mention.
Go ahead.
You guys didn't notice I didn't fucking glitch tonight, man?
No, you did good. You got the internet.
No, you did
Videotron.
Enzo, why are you using your what McDonald's Wi-Fi are you hooked up to right now on the router?
Exactly.
I don't know what the fuck I am flipping out like that either. I have no idea.
What's that Canadian Wi-Fi you got up there? What is that? It's like
one here. Hold on. Let me wait till it pops up.
Well, what is it? It's not even Spectrum. It's not even Spectrum. That's some dial-up internet. Oh my god!
He's like
dial-up internet. What is this like dial-up internet? This guy's got. Oh my god!
It's when the librarian comes by. He's like, 5 more minutes. I'm almost done.
Oh shit, dude! Oh my god! It's not even. That's not even. Bro, that's not even Spectrum internet.
Oh shit!
Bro, come on! It's not even Spectrum internet. That's just like Rectum, whatever that fucking ghetto brand of internet you have.
Anyways, now AOL is an upgrade.
Anyways, with that being said, guys, because they're pissing me off right now, I'm frozen again.
String in a cup is enough.
Peace.